And welcome back from the break, everybody. You are now watching Game Masters right here on the GDQ Hotfix. I am your host, Kiara_TV, and we have probably one of the things I've been looking forward to the most all month, Super Mario RPG Low Level. And before we get into that, I have a couple of announcements for you because Games Done Quick Express. I promise I'm going to get through this. I promise I can speak. Trust me. Is returning to TwitchCon this upcoming weekend from September 20th to the 22nd. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat for more info and check out the schedule. I'll be there. A whole bunch of cool people are going to be there. We have an amazing set of runners. So if you are attending TwitchCon or you can't make it, the Games Done Quick channel is going to be live, as well as going on all week or all weekend long at TwitchCon at the venue. Also, Games Done Quick is hiring. So if you're looking for part-time work, we are looking for new showrunners for shows just like this, starting with the 2024 Season 4. Go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs to apply or share with others that may be interested. I also want to give everybody a quick heads up. We're having a little bit of technical problems throughout the evening, so there may be a couple times throughout the stream we're going to have to go into a bit of an unplanned break to resolve some things, so please bear with us. The tech crew is awesome. They're going to get us through it, and we have an awesome show here that I'm sure you're going to want to stick around for, because I've got with me here in the room Kuiper Don't Care. Now, Kuiper Don't Care does care about one thing, and that is Super Mario RPG Low Level, which is something that we've all been so excited about for so long. Kuiper, what is this run all about?
Apparently this is the only thing I care about. This run is about perseverance and stubbornness and a little bit of stupidity. First of all,
God, those are three perfect words for what this is.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's absolutely what it is. Hello, everybody. My name is Kuiper Don't Care, and this is going to be the first ever, as far as I know, the first ever showcase of Super Mario RPG remake for the Switch Low Level. I'm sure a lot of people are like, okay, I know what a Super Mario RPG is. What is Low Level? When I tell you that we have a lot of time to discuss that, that's kind of an understatement. We are going to have a lot of time together, me and Kiara and Spike and all of you. We're going to have a lot of time to talk about this. First thing I want to do is I want to get into the game, actually. I've been sitting on the main menu screen because I don't want to listen to this song.
It's a good song, though. It's
a very good song. Very, very good song.
But when you're sitting on it for 30 minutes.
We've been sitting on it for quite a while. But yes. Very briefly, what this is going to be, and I know Kiara's teased it and talked about it numerous times, I'm sure, is this is going to be a two-part episode of Game Masters, obviously. We're going to be going for roughly kind of a 3 hour, maybe a little bit more than 3 hours. We'll see.
We got 3 hours and 20 minutes on the estimate today. We'll see how much it goes. But this is going to be a two-parter episode. Correct. Because if you are familiar at all with Low Level, this is like a 6, 7, potentially 8 hour category.
If this takes
the only way to do this, well, hopefully it doesn't take 8 hours. We got some backup plans in place. It'll be like,
please don't take 8 hours.
So if it takes 8 hours, Kuiper's never coming back on GDQ ever again.
Never again.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing. Right, chat? Type 1 if you think that's fair. I think that's a fair deal for Kuiper.
Oh, yeah. One's in chat. My God.
So this week, or today, we're going to try and get as far as we can, and then we're going to do the remainder. This is, if you don't know, the Season 2 premiere, or Season 2 finale. And then the Season 3 premiere. So, Kuiper, you got both my finale and my premiere. So, thanks for taking both of those.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just surprised Kiara is willing to sit in a call with me for that long.
Yeah,
honestly. That's the big thing. So.
This wasn't my idea. I mean, it was my idea, but I'll act like it wasn't my idea.
What do you mean?
Yeah, this show is going to be one of my hardest to get through, to sit through. Sitting in a call with Kuiper for 3 straight hours. So I may have to get up and step away for an hour to 3 hours during this.
Everyone here might.
Yeah.
Roll back in at the end.
I'll roll back in the end.
That was
like,
Game Masters.
Right, yeah, see y'all next time.
How was that? She has no idea. We played Procross for 3 hours.
Oh, no, yeah. I do have to be here to make sure you stay on schedule and like actually do what I brought you here to do for.
Right.
But in all seriousness, yeah, two-parter episode of Game Master. First time. This is a first for so many things. First two-parter episode. First time we're doing low level. First time we've had Virtual Boy Hypercam on Game Masters. Which
I'm stuck.
Yeah, that is something to look at.
I'm stuck in a virtual. This is my normal. Hey, this is my normal thing. We're not. This is how I normally look. So
you're basically a VTuber, right? You're just.
I don't know about
that. You got red color. You're in the virtual worlds. You're stuck in a virtual.
We have 3 hours to get into, so I think we should. I do think we should.
Hey, that's what I'm supposed to do. Stop taking my job, Kuiper. Okay, everybody, we have 3 hours to play with Super Mario RPG low level. So, Kuiper, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a countdown and count us down.
I will do so. Time is going to start when I select normal difficulty. You're probably wondering what is difficulties. We'll get into that in just about a second. But let's get going for the first time that SMRPG low level has ever been on a GDQ.
Stop stalling, Kuiper. Start the game.
3, 2, 1, go.
Excellent. Now you can start talking about it.
Yay! All right. I'm actually not going to do a lot of talking right now. I am joined by my good friend Spike Vegeta, someone who races me in this category at least once a month, usually, depending upon how much he loves me that month. Spike, you love this game, and you love the original game that came out 2 decades ago, almost 2 decades ago.
It was my first ever RPG. I love this game.
Yeah, on the Super Nintendo. Spike, would you like to tell the audience at home who maybe they never played this game, maybe they never played the original, what are the differences, the big things that were changed, and other than the game looks gorgeous, other than that, what type of things did they include in the remake? What type of changes did they make?
Yeah, Super Mario RPG, the remake that came out for Nintendo Switch last October, I believe, was met with wild praise from both just modern critics and people who even grew up with the original. It does so well, paying homage to the OG game. All of its little animations right there, even Mario rearing back and then running into the castle and everything. They keep so many of the original jokes in there. It's so wonderful. It's such a well-done remake. A lot of the changes in it is mainly going to be within the combat itself. They added just more systems you can interact with. They're not introducing it in these very first couple of fights, kind of the tutorial fights, I guess, in a way. But afterwards, you're going to see like a chain system that you can build together, a meter that you can build up that once it reaches 100%, you can use special triple attack moves. Imagine like triple techs from Chrono Trigger that you could bust out. Yeah, different chains that'll add different percentages of damage to it, into your different attacks and your defenses and whatnot. And kind of the big stuff that honestly low level is going to take advantage of is also you're going to be able to warp all over the place. Like once you've visited places, once you know you just have to warp out to or you have to get to the world map, you can just warp right out to that. So you're going to see it. Honestly, that's a quality of life that is nice in like any percent speedruns, but low level uses it everywhere. But the world record for SMRPG low level until the last like year or so, when a lot more manipulations were found on the OG Super Mario RPG, was like just under 9 hours, held by the I Ate Your Pie of low level and much other fame, Iron Man fame and whatnot. And now, Kuiper, I believe you know yourself what the world record is for this without any manipulations right out the gate.
Yeah, so this game has no RNG manipulations that we know of. You're probably wondering, why do we need to manipulate RNG? You'll see. There are none. You'll know. There aren't any in the remake, at least that we know of. And they probably don't exist, knowing what we know about this game already. But just from a lot of different factors, again,
hang on. Pause, everybody.
Oh.
All right, just checking some stream stuff. I think we may have had our first our screen freeze. Is like screen freeze, just confirming. All right, we'll stand by. I feel bad because like, yeah. I guess I'll chat. Type 1 if you can hear me. Type 1 if you can hear me here. We'll see if audio is going through.
That's the best way to check.
They can hear us? All right. Very good. Everybody, we have some audio. We're going to go into a break and fix this really quick. I apologize, everybody. And we'll be back shortly. I know, like, I can't believe it. And we're back, everybody. You know, chat, as we can see, by popular demands, we ran a poll. Whose fault was this latest tech issue? And you know, without a doubt, the vote, Kuiper Spike, was overwhelmingly that this was all chat's fault. So
it was.
Thanks for nothing, chat. Yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
We reward you with this very interesting speedrun / challenge run,
Yes.
Super Mario RPG low level. So, Kuiper, let's go ahead and get back into this.
We're getting back in. So, do you guys remember where we were?
Touchy.
Remember where we were?
Yeah.
I remember where we were. Does anybody remember where we were?
Yeah, we were doing Bowser.
We were talking about we were talking about world records and the difference between the original SNES version and this version. So the SNES version currently, after a whole bunch of manipulations were found, is just south of 7 hours to do low level on the original SNES. The world record for the remake, low level, both the turbo and the non-turbo world records, because there are two separate leaderboards. I have the world record in both. That's why I'm here. I'm the game master of low level. I said the thing. But the world record for this is like 5.5 hours. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
We save 2 hours in this speed run, mostly just from the fact that we can warp around the map and we have a bunch of auto saves that we take advantage of, a bunch of other little stuff here and there that we won't divulge just yet. But yeah, so there's roughly anywhere between like 2 to 2.5 hours of time save that this run saves over the SNES version basically for free, just by being a modern game. You're probably wondering, like, if you haven't seen this game before, what's happening right now. That's Exor. He's Big Sword. He fell from the heavens and knocked all of us out of Bowser's castle. Now he's going to throw a temper tantrum and destroy this bridge. We really don't know what's going on right now. And quite frankly, I've played this game so much that I don't even know what's going on anymore. I have no idea. I forgot the plot of this game.
We're on a rock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at some point we're gonna. I'm pretty sure at some point we're gonna find Luigi.
Oh yeah, he's always in every Mario
Luigi's
game.
in every Mario game. But yeah, so like I mentioned, there are two separate leaderboards for this game. There is a turbo and a non-turbo. The main reason why that distinction is made is because the any percents, I guess the beat the game. I don't really call it any percent because it's really not an any percent in this game, but you know what I mean.
Dude, that's old speedrun conversation adage.
It's tough to break it, right? It's tough to break the verbiage, but beat the game. The beat the game category has both turbo and non-turbo categories, and the reason for that is turbo does save a decent amount of time in the original game because it takes care of a lot of the really monotonous like button mashing. So all those cutscenes you just saw me go through, I ran right into that Koopa. I didn't mean to. That Paratroopa. I ran right into him and did not mean to. And now
we're building up our meter early though.
And now funny. Now I can't run away.
2 chain already? Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so now he's gonna get in front of the chest that I need. This is terrible. We're off to a terrible start. But yeah, so basically, just for simplicity purposes, there was a turbo option made for low level as well. It saves much less time. I don't want to say it saves less time, but it definitely is a negligible amount of time it saves. And the main reason for that is because all of the stuff that we're going to be skipping using turbo, there's a chance that we're going to be looking at it over and over again anyway. So, you know, the time save is not quite as important. But real quick, you're going to see me jumping on this Spiny a whole bunch and dealing 0 damage. Spike, you want to explain why I'm doing this?
Because he sucks up top.
Suck.
All right, hey Spike, is it too late to ask you to take over the run?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm racing him on the side. I didn't run into the Koopa. No, yeah, so the base, so again, spoilers, it's probably on screen somewhere. This is low level. So within low level, we're not gonna have a lot of tools. One of our main tools is Mario's base jump spell. It's got a really weird property in it that unless you're a speedrunner, you probably would not notice it's a thing. Every 2 times you use jump, its base power goes up by 1. Ooh, the big block. Let's go. You're already up to 15 chain because you. Oh yeah,
I messed up earlier.
So effectively, what we're going to be building is Mario's going to be kind of a glass cannon of sorts because it's one of our only tools. We're going to make that as strong as possible. So you saw Kuiper intentionally take that Spiny fight because during the Spiny, Kuiper was able to get an additional 3 jump spells right there, and. There's the benefit that the Spiny will not die without the jump shoes on to any of your base jumps. They're just impervious to it. So Kuiper will get rid of the other Koopa just to remove one from the field. And then he can just do this over and over again, get in some jump farming, because spoilers, later on in the run, Kuiper is going to want to power that up almost all the way to its maximum during a big farm session. So the more we can do now, the more that can conveniently shorten that jump farm later on in the run.
We will not be doing that entire jump farm because it takes well over 20 minutes to complete. But I will be kind of just explaining how it works and just kind of, you know, showing it off a little bit, and then we'll skip ahead. You're probably wondering, how on earth are you going to skip ahead in a game that only has 3 save states? So I foolishly submitted this category for, I believe it was this past Summer Games Done Quick, actually. And in order to do that, I had to create 9 profiles, and I had to play through the game 9 times to get all of the save states needed to make a marathon safe submission video.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm doing the math on the hours here based off of, you know, the different areas we need to put a save for, and the numbers come out to you. It's a lot of hours. It's a significant amount of hours here.
I've put more time into this category than anyone should ever.
Why did you ever decide to run this category, Kuiper? Like, who would do such a thing?
All right, so the actual story on how this happened is, so, I screwed up. I need that chest really badly. Luckily, luckily the dude in the basement was like really cooperative there. He could have been like really mean there.
Shouts to Unity.
Yeah, shoutouts to Unity. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. The reason why I want to run this category. So, the original SNES game of Super Mario RPG, Legend of the 7 Stars, has a very dedicated speedrun community. So dedicated, in fact, that they actually came up with a website. They don't just have all of their... Oops, well, I'm getting that frog coin later. The frog coin up on top of that arch that you can get. You can get it there, or you can get it later. I might just skip it, to be totally honest. I don't need it. But yeah, so the original game had a designated website that had all of the resources, all of the strats, all of the data as far as like enemy health thresholds and things like that. You also saw that this is the game that originally came up with the idea of like timed hits as far as like Mario RPG goes. Mario RPGs, you know, your Mario and Luigi's, your Paper Marios, things like that. Super Mario RPG for the SNES came up with that general concept, and you're seeing me do that in this game. Basically, if I time enemy attacks well enough, I will take 0 damage. If I time my own attacks well enough, I'll deal more damage. That's basically the general idea of it. But the website had all of that information on it. Another thing that it had was a tab that was basically like a description for all of the categories that Super Mario RPG had. And it's since been taken down. It is no longer there, and I kind of wish it was still there because it's my favorite part. The initial tab, when you clicked on low level on that website, the very first sentence that you saw on the screen is, "Do not attempt this category." Then it proceeded to kind of talk about, this is how the category works, this is what you need to do. And then the final sentence of that category, of that paragraph was, once again, do not attempt this category. And for the better part of 4 years now, I have dedicated a lot of my life to breaking both of those rules, because this is a speed run that I love. It is a speed run. It's my favorite speed run in the world. I've put more time into this run, routing it, changing the route, changing strats, practicing fights, more so than any other run. I love this run very, very much. And believe it or not, the first time I ever ran it was I forcibly included myself in a weekend where Kiara and Spike were going to do OG low level on the SNES.
Yeah,
and I just inserted myself. I basically was like, hey, can I do this with you guys? And
then Spike was like, said yes without consulting me, and I'm still mad about it.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Because misery loves company.
Correct.
And if this run is anything, it is absolute misery, especially the OG. It's so tough to get into. So Kuiper's done a lot of runs, not just of this new one. You got to where you were like, at one point, second or third place in any percent? Or in OG low level,
there was a point where I want to say I was either second or third place in the SNES version. That was before a bunch of other strats were found, a bunch of other manipulations were found. My final time that I ended up with on the SNES version was better than the original world record held by Pi before the manipulations were found. And I kind of shelved it from there, but I have thrown out the idea that eventually I will return to it and try to get the trifecta of having the world record in every single possible variant of low level that exists. I've thrown out that idea. We'll see if it ends up happening.
See what happens. Ooh, a Team Right main going down this path. Oh, okay. I always go that.
My favorite thing about that story is I got promo art made for me and Spike to do it. And in general, as part of the thing, there's a little Koopa serving Kiro Colas, because the whole point was like, oh, we're at a slot machine, and they give you drinks in Vegas or something like that. And we're just
free drinks.
I'm not sure if I can post. I'm gonna try posting a link here. Yeah. So there's that art. So Kuiper just ended up inserting himself and was like, I'll just be the Koopa, bringing in the Kiro Colas. So.
Yep. That was it. Yeah. And since then, by the way,
Coca-Cola now. Yeah, now it's Coca-Cola.
I always like to bring up, if you want to talk about like foreshadowing, we did that race, the three of us. I had never done low level before up to that point. I won that race.
Yeah, heck you.
I was the first one to finish out of the three of us.
Oh, you were. That's so funny.
I was the first one.
I was on Boomer XOR for 4?
I believe so.
Ooh, funny.
No one gets.
So now coming up, we got technically our second real boss fight of the game. We have got Kurako right here. And we are still in the max level portion of this run.
I refer to it as the any percent portion.
The 80% portion.
We're kind of playing the game, trying to go as fast as possible.
Because you might wonder, like, well, how do they stay at a low level? We're going to figure that out here in a little bit, about another hour or so until we start not leveling anymore. But for now, we're going to be gaining a couple levels because we just have no way of possibly preventing it. So now you're seeing those, just look at the jump numbers right there. It said 43. Now it says 45. Again, it had been 2 times, so its base power has gone up by 1. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. And you might notice there on the left side, so you got the 100% and you've got that 2 chain above it. So at various chain levels, and by various, I mean 3 different ones, at 2 chain, 3 chain, and 5 chain, you will gain different buffs based on the makeup of your party. So Mallow is actually really, really important in this game because he will up your magic power, which includes stuff like jump, anything that's in your special column. So as long as you got that 5 chain going, you've got a 25% buff to all of your base magic spells. Nice blocks right there.
We're going to take a quick pause. Everybody in chat, sorry. Once again, we're going to have to take a short break here. Stand by. Tech is on it. We'll be back momentarily.
Gosh.
And yeah, don't worry. I think, you know, this time, I think it's Kuiper's fault. This is 100% Kuiper's fault.
This is straight up
It's definitely my fault.
I'm not going to blame chat this time. Chat's okay. We love you, chat. But yeah, thank you so much for bearing with us. I would like to say this PC, you know, we had a big performance review after, you know, TFS today and going in, and, you know, I got an update, and, you know, the PC here that is, you know, throwing a tantrum, they will be getting laid off. This little PC will not be returning after TwitchCon, so bear with us for just a little bit longer. You know, we'll be preparing the papers, the exit package, and yeah. I'm not going to miss this PC. I will say that. Stand by, everybody. And welcome back, everybody. We're going to try and keep this going, but we're working on a backup plan here. So you may see the stream go down a couple more times. So again, thank you so much for bearing with us. We are working on a solution that will, you know, currently, the plan is being executed, so it may take a little bit of time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get back into it, Kuiper, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we're getting back in. So obviously we just beat Croco, our second boss. He gave us back the coin that we were kind of chasing him around for. That was the whole reason why we were fighting him. And real quick, this is going to be one of our only 2 level ups that we get in the entire run. We're going to level up our magic there. And this is going to be the first time you're going to see that map warp stuff that Spike was talking about earlier. So here I'm just going to go over to my map, and I'm actually just going to immediately warp back to Mushroom Way without having to walk all the way back through. That was not a thing in the SNES version. You had to walk all the way back across the world. And we're going to do just a little...
And that saves a ridiculous amount of time in the run, honestly.
So much time.
It's also... So, this remake is so well done. They did such a good job of bringing it back again, paying homage to the original, keeping all these little details in and whatnot. If there's one thing that is not good, I would say, about this remake, it's overworld map movement. In the OG, you just snapped from world spot to world spot. Here, it feels like it's got a bunch of lag on it. Like, it's a Super Nintendo game. Yeah, it's rough, dude.
It's really...
I should know, because I've been playing those a lot.
It's really weird how it happens, too. It's like this strange... You're, like, walking around, and it just feels like you're really slow for some reason. Yeah, the best way to kind of explain it, yeah, it's like as if you're lagging. It's very weird.
So yeah, with that, now, once we enter a place one time, we can always just warp back there. So selling off that wallet, I always love that we do that, because that's a wallet that belongs to one of the people here in town, one of the Mushroom Kingdom residents. And we say, oh, that's great. Sell it for money. We're doing the safety
straps. We're buying shirts and pants. We're no longer naked.
I was going to say, for this, yeah, I understand.
I just lost.
Next time he'll cut it out of his world record loss. You really need to.
I do. I don't buy them anymore. Yeah, good. I don't buy that. I don't buy that anymore.
And that's what a real pro would do.
Okay. That room's really scary. All right, so this is like, I know this is only like the 3rd fight, and I'm already like kind of talking about like how serious time this is. This is by far the most difficult early fight in the game. Clay Morton, which is formerly known as Mac. This fight can go off the rails very, very quickly, and it's entirely out of my control. If he flame walls me repeatedly, I'm kind of just screwed, so I kind of need to pay attention here. Hopefully we get... Okay, we did not get all of the bodyguards there.
Nice timing, unlucky.
Yeah.
I didn't even know one could miss.
I know, right?
That's
I know.
weird.
Oh, I may have oopsied. It's okay. We're fine.
It's fine.
You'll get through it.
We got the
probably.
freebie. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay. As long as he doesn't flame wall me over and over. Perfect. Okay, great.
Yeah. Because another quality of life of sorts, this guy, or at least a mechanic change, is that you can block all single target spells. It's only the AoEs that you
That's
can't
the one
block.
we don't
So yeah,
want
there's
to
the
see.
flame wall.
All right, so here we're actually going to do our first, like, kind of super move here. That is not what I wanted to see.
Hey, Toad.
Oh, we're oh boy. We're fine.
We'll be fine.
So Mac is
We
playing
need
along.
to see some freebies on the honey syrups.
That's another one.
Okay, yeah, we need those. Yeah, because right now, every item that you use in the game has a 33% chance of just being freebied. That's different than it is in the original. They had like different categories. In Remake, it's all just 33% chance. And that's good because what we were trying to get with that Toad Assist, that little effectively slot machine back there, was a refill on your FP.
Totally fine.
Yeah, I need to do this so Mallow can also throw in a Thunderbolt. He's 21 chained up right now.
Yeah, so he's gonna deal. Ooh!
Woo!
Flush flame right there.
Yeah, good blockings. Again, all of those have to be perfect blocks to actually have zero
How is he
damage
not
on them.
dead?
You can do
I am
partial ones.
dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
The unfortunate double. So what was were you supposed to hit a flower
I was
box or
supposed to
something?
use the flower jar I got, and I forgot.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Our
No.
Spike, I can't believe we got this. I can't believe we got
Dude,
this guy
this
on,
is a
right?
callback to
Yeah.
me. No. When I did this any percent on
okay.
Church's show last year, I died 3 times.
Oh,
to
really?
him. He would not stop flame
Yeah,
walling me.
this guy is a really big jerk.
Yeah, sometimes there's just literally nothing you can do.
Right, and I'm
Yeah, if he spams the AoE flame wall, which seems like not super rare, but it's uncommon that he'll use it. So when he uses it multiple times, that's unfortunate. The entire point of buying the shirt and the pants was to somewhat protect
you
against
will
that.
survive. If you take absolutely no other damage from any other source, Mario will survive 2 flame walls.
Yeah.
Missed again.
And what's important, dang, I didn't even know that could happen. So what's happening there is if you get a perfect timing on an attack, like you saw right there with Kuiper's hammer, that's the only time in the entire game you're going to use Mario's hammer. You get this splash damage effectively on all the other targets on the screen, which is just enough to butter up the 4 little shysters to where then Mallow's Thunderbolt will clear all of them. That's unreal. They're dodging that. That's so weird. Nice.
Okay, so let's try this again.
You realize pretty quickly when you go to speedrun. Yeah, let's try this again.
All right, that works. Mushroom is fine.
All
We'll take a mushroom. Mushroom works. That heals Mallow. We will have to use a honey syrup, but that's okay. So basically what I'm doing there is that little roulette wheel of like items effectively. I keep getting so many freebies. There's a bunch of different options in there. The one I'm trying to get is like the flower option, but I kept, it is obviously a very precise thing you're trying to aim for. I could like pause buffer it, but it should kill. Okay, he's finally dead. Okay, that is like, that is the absolute like scariest part of like the early run. He is an
well done.
absolute jerk. So,
You know, I don't think we've done it. We'll have time later, but freebies. What is a freebie? I didn't understand this for like 10 years. What a
yeah,
freebie
so
meant.
a freebie is, again, this is something that exists in both games, both in the original game and the remake. They kept it true to that. A freebie is just, sometimes the game rolls a die and you get your item back for free. There is really nothing else to it. In the one of the big manipulations that we have in the original version of Low Level on the SNES is you can manipulate freebies to like some extent, not a very consistent extent. Like for every fight you can't do it, but for certain fights you can. It cannot be manipulated in the remake. So for our purposes, freebies are just kind of like cool little things that we get to keep.
I remember back in the 90s playing the game and like reading like on GameFAQs forums. It was the ultimate. It was like, hold A or B when the Pokemon's in the Pokeball and they're going to stay in it. Oh, if you press this carried into, I swear, the mid 20 teens at GDQ's being like, oh, can you not I swear you can time the button press and you'll get the freebies. No, you're not. It's all placebo. None of that is actually happening.
It is all a placebo effect. So yeah, that is. I'm not happy that I died to Clay Morton, but that is a very, very difficult fight. So the fact that I almost beat him and then somehow still died. So you just saw me. There are two kind of warps you can do in this game. You can warp to the world map like I did just there. Which is another thing that you can't do in the original game. The reason I had to do that rather than do like the normal map warp that you saw earlier is because I have not been to this location yet. So I couldn't technically warp to Kiro Sewers from the map because I hadn't been there yet. So you'll see me do that a couple times in the early game as we're unlocking all of the locations. But right now we're just kind of going to our next boss. I pronounce his name below me. I know some people say Belome, some people say, I don't know if there's another way to say it.
Bellum, like Bellum's temple.
Okay,
Bellum.
Bellum.
I've never heard Bellum before.
Sounds like a British actor.
Bellum.
Below me is, I mean, that's the pun. There is stuff below him.
Oh,
he's always sitting on something when you're into him.
Oh, okay. I was thinking something very different. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, that's where everybody goes first. Trust me. But here we are. Yep, below me. Take him on and doing more of those attacks. And to know, Mario's Jump is the only spell in this game that has that whole, every 2 times you use it, its base power goes up. Nothing else like Thunderbolt or anything. But if you ever see the big sparkles that happen behind the numbers, that is not optimal.
We'll make it work. We'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I was gonna say I didn't know if you had able juices or anything.
It's fine. You're just gonna be jumping anyway. It's perfectly okay.
It's gonna be a slower fight. I'm gonna have to wait until he either releases me or he's just gonna make this fight go very slow. Okay.
Yo, Bellum with the sauce.
Yeah, because the problem now is all Scarecrow can do are specials, which cool, you can jump.
Yeah, there we go.
And you can defend. Okay. Yeah, the problem with that is we need honey syrups so we can keep jumping. So now we can do 4 more.
There we go. I usually skip the able juices because optimal. But I might have made a boo-boo there.
Yeah, it may seem
little boo-boo.
This may be a surprise for everybody that, a category like low level in an RPG involves quite a bit of RNG. So,
way more than you are anticipating. You know what? I do think there's a decent amount of time before the next, big important stuff where I have a bunch of lore that's going to happen here. I think it is now time to kind of explain, all right, what is low level? You guys have been kind of teasing it. What exactly is low level? So, again, the objective that we are trying to achieve in this run is we have to beat the game while obtaining as little experience as possible. And the reason we have to make that designation in this game is because there is a boss fight that we will come across much later. You're not going to see it in this episode. You're going to see it in the second episode. There technically is a boss that we could theoretically kill without leveling up. But kind of in the spirit of what the run is supposed to be, we don't allow that. So it is called low level. Low level is the name of the category. It's the classic name, but a lot of people also refer to it as minimal experience. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to beat the game while obtaining as minimal experience as possible. Well, there are a lot of bosses in this game. There's a lot of fights that you can't skip. How are you going to do that? So if you were playing this game, you could boot this game up right now on your Nintendo Switch and you could play it casually. I'm pretty certain that at some point you're going to kill an enemy, you're going to beat a boss, you're going to do whatever, and a little flower is going to pop out of an enemy's head and you're going to see Lucky appear over your head. Lucky is a status effect that exists in this game. And what Lucky does is Lucky allows you to gamble your fight rewards at the end of the fight. Your fight rewards, 9 times out of 10, are both coins and experience. So the Lucky minigame kind of allows you to kind of gamble those things. It's kind of like a cute little thing that they put in the game. In order for us to stay as low of a level as possible, we have to force that minigame on every single boss fight. And the way we do that is there are 2 items that exist in the game normally. One of them is called the Lucky Jewel. The other is called the Lucky Hammer. We will find the Lucky Jewel first and then the hammer later on. And basically what's going to happen is I'm going to enter a boss fight. I'm going to do the boss fight. At some point during the fight, I have to either use the Lucky Jewel or the Lucky Hammer. I then have to beat the boss, as you normally would. But the problem is I can't obtain any experience. So when that minigame pops up, I have to intentionally lose it. Well, how do you intentionally lose it? The way it's going to work is 3 Yoshi eggs are going to pop up on screen. Yoshi, the little baby Yoshi, is always going to appear in the middle of the 3 eggs that are on screen. There are 2 other options. One of them is a little bird that signifies a tie, meaning you tied your experience. You're not going to double anything. And then there's a little black fuzzy. The black fuzzy means you were wrong and you lose all experience that you would have gained during that fight. So basically what ends up happening in this run is once I obtain that item, which is going to be the first fight we're going to actually use that, is the fight Knife Guy Great Guy. Once I've obtained that item, I have to use it in every single fight. I then have to, hopefully, see that the game offers me to double my experience. I cannot accept the option of coins, and the reason I can't accept the option for coins is because that would guarantee I get experience. So I have to win a coin flip, basically, and see experience on the screen. Then what has to happen is the Yoshi eggs are going to pop up on screen, and they're going to shuffle all on the screen, right? I then have to pick one of those 3 eggs randomly. There is no way to tell which one is going to be the wrong egg. I have to randomly pick the wrong egg to make sure that I have no experience and we can move forward. To break it down for you as far as odds go, most of the fights that you'll see me do once I obtain those items are 1 in 4s, meaning I have a 1 in 4 chance of getting out of any given fight. I have to win the coin flip as far as coins versus experience, and then I have to lose the coin flip of getting the wrong egg, not the tie egg. And you're probably wondering, well, like, I mean, this is a children's game, right? There's no way that, you're going to have to do that a lot. I am going to have to do that 24 times over the course of...
Oh, yeah, because the heavy troopers, you're doing 20.
I have to win... let's put it blunt. I have to lose that minigame 24 times.
And if there's anybody good at losing, it's Kuiper.
And if anybody's good at losing, I've lost more than anybody ever will in this game. That is a fact. So that is the way low level works. It is completely 100% out of your control. It is completely up to RNG. When I tell you people, you wonderful people that are here watching, that I have fought every single boss in this game hundreds of times, that is not an exaggeration. Name a boss in this game. I have been stuck on it. I have killed a run on it, and it's a labor of love. This category. Obviously, we're not quite at that point yet. We'll call it out when we get a little closer. But right now, we're still kind of just going through again, like what I like to refer to as the any % portion. We just found out that Mallow is not a tadpole. I'm very sorry.
Oh no! What?
Yeah, Mallow is unfortunately not a tadpole.
No. Would you be surprised if I told you that I did not realize the pun of Mallow being marshmallow until last year?
Oh, I think that one took a while for me
I think it might have taken me a while.
And then
yeah.
I also thought it was Toad of Sky, and I was like, wait. And then I went and saw the Nutcracker, and I was like, wait a second. And then I just had a moment where, like, I just re-witnessed my entire life. I was like, no way, I have been wrong my entire life.
Oh, I missed. Ooh. I missed again.
Well,
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Knife Guy, Great Guy at the top of Booster Tower. That's our first. That's our first challenge. Yeah.
Being real sad about this.
Yeah, Knife Guy, Great Guy would be the first one. What we're waiting for, it was like Kuiper was alluding to there, we need a way to force the minigame. And you need either the Lucky Jewel or the Lucky Hammer. We have access to the Lucky Jewel after we get through the mines, the Mount Mole mines, getting past Punchinello in there. And then after that, yeah, the Wild Wild West of this speedrun starts.
Yeah, you have about, in real time, you have, I mean, I could just pull up I have my splits active. Real time, you're looking at right about an hour and a half until you really get into the meat and potatoes of this run. But because of that, all of this like early game stuff that you're seeing me do, which I've done very poorly, by the way, all of this is like, there's a lot of pressure on the first like hour and a half of this run because the more mistakes you make, this is like the time save that you are in direct control of. So I've actually killed a lot of runs before I even get to the mini game if my execution hasn't been particularly well. But we're not concerned about that. It's just a showcase. We're just having fun, so we're not too worried about that.
Yeah, it's important to note that, again, there will be a couple of spots where we're very likely and guaranteed in a few farming spots going to skip ahead to other saves because this is at the end of the day, this is not a full run. Kuiper currently right now, again, you've got the world record in this category at 6:30 something.
Without,
if you want to see us do full runs,
turbo, yes. With turbo, my world record is 5.5 hours. Am I supposed to buy anything here? No.
So if you want to see more of those times getting beaten, Kuiper and I are looking to basically do these like once a month. So yeah, Kuiper maybe even more.
If I had the free time to do more than one run a month, I definitely would. Which is a little crazy, as you could probably guess.
Maybe I'll have to join you one of these times. Bring the crew back together.
You should. It's honestly, and Kuiper and I have both said this many times. The remake for Super Mario RPG, both in any percent speedruns, but definitely on low level, is so much more approachable than it was the original. The original is still a ton of fun to get into, but in particular, I don't know if you actually got into the, like, again, they're 1-for-4s here. Only in the remake are you able to actually follow the Yoshi.
Yeah, that's
like it actually follows patterns that you can look at.
No, that is a good point. So I do, Spike, perfect thing. I do want to make that very, very clear is that the original SNES game, you were not able to follow Yoshi, but because Yoshi is always going to start in the center egg, you can technically, by process of elimination, just ignore that egg because you know it's going to be Yoshi and we don't want Yoshi to begin with. So what's going to happen is when we actually get to, this is the best cutscene in the game, by the way. When we get to that portion of the run, the only two eggs that I'm going to be paying attention to are the eggs that start on the left and start on the right. Where they ultimately end up after the shuffle is going to be random, but those are the two eggs, the one on the left and the one on the right, that we're really going to be paying attention to. Not to give anything away, but I don't think I'm going to be in control of which of those eggs that we're going to select. But we're not getting ahead of ourselves. We're not going to talk about that.
That's okay. Chat totally doesn't notice a thing on the screen that we have not explained.
Chat totally doesn't notice something on screen that some of you are going to be able to influence what egg I pick during the course
doesn't
of
exist
these
yet.
two episodes.
Definitely, it just
does not.
Part,
it does not exist
not
yet.
There.
Totally doesn't exist. Yeah, we have Gino. Gino's alive. Gino's here. Gino will be joining our party very shortly. So one of the things that we're going to be skipping ahead, we've already talked about the jump arm. One of the things we're going to be skipping ahead after this next upcoming boss fight against Bowyer actually is going to be the Yoshi Cookie Farm. One of the things that we really struggled with in the routing of this game versus the original game was, how do we get money in this game? Because all of the flower boxes, flower jar, flower tab items you're seeing me collect, in the original game, you were able to sell those, and we can't sell them in this game. So when this category was being routed originally by I Ate Your Pie and Alan M, they both discovered that actually the Yoshi race that exists in the game normally is a pretty good way to get some money. So I will explain that when we get to it. It's again one of the like skill checks in the run. Being good at Yoshi races is actually like a very big part of this speed run. And up until the last run that I completed, the world record run actually of non-turbo, I had never lost a Yoshi race ever. I lost my first ever Yoshi race in that run, and I was immediately mocked and made fun of because I used to talk so much smack about how I had done hundreds and hundreds of Yoshi races and had never lost. And other people, like, we won't name names, I Ate Your Pie. Other people tend to struggle quite a bit with the Yoshi race. I am completely jinxing myself, and I know that I'm just going to botch it now when we get to that point.
Dude, please. That'd be so good.
Funny.
Ooh, funny.
Yeah, Kuiper, I need some clip material, so you're gonna have to deliver something.
Listen, I've already died to Clay Morton.
Yeah, but that wasn't too funny. That was more sad and disappointing.
I was very sad.
I was like, oh no, I'm regretting this. I should never have decided to do this. I knew that one side of my brain was telling me this is a terrible idea. Don't bring Kuiper on. It's going to be a disaster. And then for that, I was kind of feeling, I was like, dang, I should have listened.
All right, I have no idea where I'm going in this maze. I'm totally confused. I hope I go the right.
Well, you're supposed to follow Gino. What are you doing, Kuiper?
The right direction. I don't know. I'm totally lost. Where
Kiara was right. You suck.
Oh, there's a stump here. What's down here?
Wait, what is this stump here? Oh.
Whoops. Oh my God! Look at all those items. How are you supposed to know that that's there?
But how are you going to get back?
I don't know.
That was the Nintendo Power
I'm just going to go straight and hope I see Gino. Oh, thank God Gino's there. All right, good. Oh,
thank Jesus.
All right, we're doing the classic bit. The pattern is set all the time.
It's always
funny to do. This pattern is set on every time you play through the game. That little secret area, we just got a whole bunch of really cool items. And then Gino is just, you can just kind of follow Gino. There's really no thought behind it. Just kind of follow him where he goes.
Dude, another thing they changed in the original, everyone knows about, there's one screen where Gino just isn't there. You just have to guess the right one. They were like, that was stupid. Just put him on that screen as well.
Yeah, it was a little bit, maybe a little bit of an oversight, but that's okay. So you saw.
Oh, they knew what they were doing.
I think the original devs probably did. They were like, we're
did.
Super Nintendo devs. We're evil.
We'll get them.
So this is Bowyer. I should probably explain, like, what is going on in this game. We're collecting these stars, and the reason we're collecting these stars has not been divulged to us yet. It will actually be in the massive lore dump that I'm going to turbo skip through.
Okay, no spoilers till then.
Yeah. Basically, Exor broke through Rainbow Road, and turns out Rainbow Road is where all your dreams come from. And we gotta fix Rainbow Road, because otherwise dreams can't. It's a Nintendo game. We're
actually, it's not Rainbow Road. It's Star Road.
Yeah,
but actually, it's not your dreams. It's your wishes.
Tomato.
Push the glasses up.
Tomato.
Yeah, Chad. I should be the one doing this run.
Yeah.
I get the lore.
I'm gonna turn over the sticks. I'm gonna go to bed.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this is Bowyer.
Let's say Kiara's West Coast. This works out. It's past Kuiper and I's bedtime. You kidding me?
Yeah, you can just blame any mistake on lack of sleep.
And we haven't even gotten to that point yet. So this fight's really hard. You'll see how difficult this fight is here in a little bit. So I'm gonna Kamehameha, then I'm going to defend, and then I'm going to buff Dino's damage. And then here comes the really, really hard part. Okay, I have to do that attack 6 more times. That's it. That's the whole fight.
The Geno beam. All right. Okay, Kuiper. On the next one, you're going to have to give me your best Kamehameha, right? And then on the one after that, Spike, you're going to have to do your best.
Okay. I have to be kind of quiet.
I'm glad I'm on Discord, no delay.
All right, I did it really high pitched. I don't know why I did that, but that's what I decided to do.
All right, very good. Very good.
I got Kamehameha.
You gotta go a lot faster. It comes out quick.
On my end, it was perfect.
Oh, really?
It was on the exact thing. Oh, yeah. On my end, I mean, I'm looking at the screen. Here, Kamehameha. I guessed it was the second earlier. All right.
Ooh, look at that.
Bolt. Oh, my God. He blocked that bolt. Could you imagine being that much of a, I was going to say a bad booty person? Being able to block a thunderbolt? That's so sick.
Oh, you're not dead. Why are you not dead? You should be dead. Did I mess up my damage? I might have. It's okay. He'll die here. Ow. Die. There we go. Messed up my damage a little bit.
You just have to ask.
Yeah, so totally we're going to be able to defeat him right now. There's nothing goofy that he's going to do. Oh, no. He blocked all my buttons. Oh, no. Whatever will I do? I'm helpless. What could I possibly do to defeat him? Oh, no. This is a problem. I'm just going to do this. So this is one of those things.
Time for plot.
Yeah, this is one of those new things in the remake that's not in the original. These like super moves that we get to do. We get to throw a big supernova at Bowyer and kill him.
62.
It does 62 damage. We are very low level.
It's so cute, the tutorial one we always do. Yeah, each of those like triple techs, those triple super moves that you get to use with your different characters, with your different formations, are pretty cool. And they're all based off of like different aspects. So like right there, that's actually based on your total, like all of your weapons you have on the different characters. We're all naked. We don't have like any weapons. Mario's got a hammer. Mallow literally has his fists that normally do like 1 or 2 damage. It's because there for Bowyer, that is the tutorial version of that. Even if you had no meter going into that, they would fill it up to 100 just for that usage.
It's
right
scripted
there.
to use it. Yeah, you cannot kill Bowyer. We've tried. Trust me. We've tried to kill Bowyer without having to go through that entire process of like using Star Riders. You can't. It's like hard coded that he is going to do that. But yeah, so we're nearing the Yoshi Cookie Farm. So what we're going to do to get there, to get over to Yoster Island, we have to go through the Pipe Vault. Oh. And normally we spend quite a bit of time in the Pipe Vault. But again, like I said, we're going to be skipping that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to demonstrate how the Yoshi Cookie Farm works. And then we're going to skip ahead in that. Or I'm not going to skip ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just going to like progress the game and not like do the entire farm. Because I don't really need the stuff that we're getting from the farm, because we're going to be loading a save state after the second boss of the sort of gimmicked portion of the run. So we're going to be loading that up regardless. So very little reason for me to spend more time there than I need to. Yeah, we're going to head into the Pipe Vault. The Pipe Vault takes us to an area where I wonder how many people that played through both this game and the SNES version, how many people just like never found this area, because it's completely optional. This is like one of the very few areas in this game that's completely optional. You do not need to come here at all for any reason. Yeah, it's pretty useful in low level. I don't think any percent has like negative reason to come here. There's like absolutely no reason why you would come here for any category other than low level. And as you can see, we're getting a whole bunch of those frog coins. We're getting more flower points. The flowers, I should bring up, the flowers that you see me collecting, that's basically like your mana, like your FP in this game are flowers. The jump ability that we've been using all over the place uses 3 flowers. So we want to get up to a certain threshold, a certain point for that little jump farm section that we talked about. Gonna grab the coins out of this chest. Enough. Let's dodge the Goomba. Oh, God, that Goomba's so scary.
Oh,
Goomba's so scary.
Ninja
dodge. Grab another frog coin out of this chest, and we have the Yoshi cookie race. So the first race, all these Yoshis are kind of arguing. They're kind of upset with one another. We found our pal Yoshi here. And what we're going to do, we're going to race that big, bad, evil guy over there with the sunglasses. Is it pronounced Boshi or Boshi? I have no idea.
I've gone back and forth on that many times.
No clue.
I say Boshi.
Okay.
But I mean, no reason I'm correct.
All right, so we're skipping the tutorial. How do you do this race? You hit the buttons on the screen. That's it.
If you do that rhythm, you will get through it.
It is.
This is another quality of life they added to the remake. They put the on-screen indicator.
Yeah, these on-screen.
And I also think the rhythm just makes more sense in the remake than the original.
Yeah, that rhythm there is actually like way more precise than you'd think it would be. And again, the SNES version did not have those indicators. So if you want to think about what it was like doing it on the SNES version, imagine playing Rock Band without the chart on screen. Basically what you had to do.
Right.
So we've beaten Boshi. So now what we could do is we can actually use these cookies we won from that and gamble them and actually get more of those cookies. So these odds that we can get, so 1.5 right there, the 1.5 to 1 odds, that's the most common odds he'll give you. And normally what we would do here is we would farm cookies until I have 60 total. I'm only going to get to maybe 15 or so, and then we're going to leave. But basically, you would do this until you had about 60. Again, we're not even at, the gimmicked portion of the run. And we're already doing some really, really goofy, silly stuff that you really don't have to do in the normal game. So I want to maybe we'll get to 10. We'll see what kind of, if he keeps giving me 1.5, I won't spend too much time here. I'd like to get some money. All right, 3 to 1. That's really good.
Hey, 3-1. Yep.
All right.
You can get as good as 10 to 1 is the best.
10 to 1
right?
is the best.
I couldn't remember if there was a 20 to 1 or something stupid.
I'll do one more after this. Just to give myself.
And so you would just sit here until you have multiplied your numbers up to 60. It's pretty common. I know when I do runs, I think Kuiper was the same way, where I think you do it the same. You can get an auto save on the prior screen. Yes. And if he at first will just give you 1.5, so you'll just reset there until you get that first batch of cookies. Because right there for 1.5, you're only getting one cookie.
Okay, that's more than
you only
enough.
start with the 3.
We're good. Yeah, that's more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, that would be considered a solid start. 1.5 into a 3 into a 2. A lot of times you can boot these up and your first 5 will just all be 1.5s and you're moving so slowly up the charts.
One thing I do want to say, that little red Yoshi at the finish line, he's like a bank. So we can only hold, I think it's 20 cookies. I think it might be 20 or 30. I can't remember actually. But he's he's explaining it now. So he's a bank, right? So he holds on to the rest of them. So what we would do from that point, so imagine I got to 60 there. We're going to pretend I got to 60. Then what you would do is you're going to go over to the pipe ball and we're going to use these on those little Potaboo enemies, the fireball enemies you saw me avoiding earlier. And we're doing this for 2 reasons. The first reason we're doing this is because we want money. So when I use one of these Yoshi cookies, you'll see it here in a second. One of 2 things can happen. Yoshi can either do that and give me one of those candies, or Yoshi could actually eat the fireball and give me a firebomb. Wow, that was perfect. He just did right there. So those are the 2 options.
The commentary.
Yeah, it was great. So what we want is we kind of want a little bit of both, because we want the candies, because the candies sell for a decent amount of money. They sell for 70 coins a piece. And we want the firebombs for not just for the upcoming fight, the one against Knife Guy, Great Guy, but just later on when we have to buy a whole bunch of them. It's just going to save us the time and energy of having to buy a bunch of them. So normally, once again, if you're noticing what the beginning of this run is, normally you would spend a little bit of time doing this. You would use, I think, 40 of the 60 cookies that you would farm for, and then we would progress the game. Again, I'm only going to throw a couple of these. Maybe we'll see if we could maybe get one more firebomb. That would be nice. And if not, then we're going to move on. And we'll move on to the rest of the run. So again, we're already skipping a decent amount of sort of the monotonous part. The one thing I will say is skipping this farm might mean I don't have Star Riders for Punchinello, and that might be a little bit of a problem. But
oh yeah, because you normally would, because you would just every 3 attacks you would block the fireball theoretically, so you would build that meter up.
Yeah, we might have a problem there. So you're probably wondering, oh, so you're not getting many fire bombs. Well, I just got one there. All right, so that's going to be the end of that. We're gonna leave after that. You're probably wondering, man, you only got like 2 candies or 2 fire bombs. That was kind of weird. Yeah, there's only a 10% chance to get a fire bomb. Welcome to low level. So, welcome to low level. You only got a 10% chance to get that. So we're going to move on. Again, you would spend a lot more time doing that. But again, for our purposes, we're going to be skipping ahead a little bit later on in the run. We don't need to spend that much time doing it. So we're going to...
Yeah, again, this being primarily a showcase there. But yeah, you can sell, as you can see, each of these Yoshi candies that you get, theoretically, you can sell them, 10 of them for 700. So that's a pretty good amount of cash here early on in the run. And it's basically been our replacement for not having access to being able to sell like flour tabs and flour jars, stuff like that. Because those were selling for 100 and 300 a piece in the original.
Just going through my normal menus here, even though we're not going to necessarily need those. Just going through my normal menus, the muscle memory. One of the important things about any speedrun chat, even if you're doing a showcase, even if you're trying to skip ahead and do stuff, the muscle memory is important.
It really is. Especially in something as repetitive as this.
Yeah, doing something different is usually a recipe for disaster. To give you guys an idea of how much we skipped ahead in that Yoshi cookie farm, I beat Bowyer, so when I defeated Bowyer, I have my splits pulled up, actually. I was 3.5 minutes behind when we beat Bowyer. I skipped a large portion of that Yoshi cookie farm. I am now 5.5 minutes ahead of where we were. So to give you guys just an idea of how much we actually skipped there, pretty chunky. That's a decent, a little bit of the time you're spending there doing that. So here is, we're chasing Croco again. Or we're going to be chasing Croco here again. This is the second Croco fight. Actually, the easier out of the 2, which is really interesting. Because he can't throw bombs at us. Well, he can, but ultimately what he'll end up doing is he'll end up swapping it out for, like, throwing enemies at us. And for whatever reason, the enemy, like, blocking the enemy attack just feels a lot easier. It's very strange.
I would agree with that.
Very strange.
And really quick, looks like you hit your head there, Kuiper. Took all your stuff. This is a good opportunity for us to go take a break.
Oh, perfect.
So,
Perfect.
everybody, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Game Masters after a short break. Don't go anywhere, please, 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 please. Low level, it's about to get interesting soon.
It's gonna,
right, Kuiper? It's gonna get interesting. You're not gonna want to miss it.
We have 2 more boss fights, and then it's gonna get super crazy.
Oh yeah. All right. See y'all soon. Okay. All right. So act like you're having some random conversation, right? Oh my God. Okay. So
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, those sandwiches that we had earlier on. Yeah.
Dude, I got the double patty butter burger.
Yeah.
That was fast. Dude, I got the double patty
I did not think that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yep. And yep. And
welcome to late night GDQ.
But mine had mayo on it, so like I couldn't eat it.
You gotta throw that one in the trash.
Oh, also we're back. Hello, everybody. Hey, hi. You're welcome. Low level. I like to remind you all, if you missed out on any of our shows or events, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesandquick. Make sure you join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with Stat, and more. Use !point Discord and Twitch chat for more info. This is Kuiper Don't Care. We're running Super Mario RPG low level. We are getting close to the end. It's everybody's favorite mini game coming up soon. That, of course, is the Minecraft Spike. Why is the minecart ride? I think I said Minecraft. Why is the minecart ride so awesome? That was a summary of everything y'all missed.
The Minecraft ride is going to have Jack Black there, and you're just going to be able to, it's going to, ooh, funny. I'm just going to go to that. You can tell it's late. We're getting loopy. Yeah, minecart ride's gonna be great because they stole it from Donkey Kong Country. It's hilarious. Ooh, the big dodges. It's funny because right there you've got a bomb. Obviously, you don't want to get into fights because it's both slow. And if you kill them, you get experience.
Oh
my god.
No.
He's manipping. Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
He'll get stuck under there.
Oh, that's so sick. Why didn't you tell me about this before?
This is why I have world record. I just don't tell anybody my strats.
Oh my god, what a jerkwad. Yeah, because that is an absolutely toxic box of coins. Because that Podoboo just wants to, like, get right on that booty the whole time. And you got to hit it 15 times. That's so cool. I love that. And that's consistent.
It is.
And you said there was no manipulation. All right, time to see if we're at 100%. We're not, but we're kind of close. We're not really that close.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. I might be able to still get a Star Rider to pop off. Long as...
Yeah, because you ideally want it turn 2, is that right?
No, it's turn 3.
Oh, you're fine.
Turn 3.
Just
turn 3.
Just don't suck.
You won't.
Right here, you see, we need to get that meter up to 100% because we want to use Star Riders. That triple move we saw from earlier. Yeah, we need one block here. Oh, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Oh, don't do it. Oh, he blocked the unblockable. I swear. That is the hardest attack to block in the game. Yeah. You have to wait until, like, his claws are all the way through your forehead, and you're like, oh, yeah, block. Perfect block. Star Riders, 258. That felt so good.
Mind you, by the way, we're still only level 3 and level 3 with Mario and Mallow, and that's how much damage that.
Yeah. Yeah, so, because we did get all those weapons earlier. Sometimes we'll buy weapons purely because it will buff our triple moves like that, even if we're not, like, using them much like Mario's punch gloves right now. Okay, yeah. That was pretty good. Yeah, that was great because there was no sandstorm.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more sunburnt now than I was before. We had to kind of mess around with some filters, but we're all good. We're here. I'm keeping up the images like I normally do. But anyway, yes. So that fight right there, that is the last fight that we are going to do normally. From this point forward, every single one of the fights you will see me do in this episode and in episode 2 will be subject to the Lucky mini game. A very interesting quirk. We didn't really get to talk much about Punchinello, that fight I just beat. But a very interesting kind of quirk about Punchinello is Punchinello doesn't give you experience. He doesn't give you anything, actually. He gives you no coins. He gives you no experience. Those jumps that you saw me do on Punchinello don't count towards your jump counter. It's very strange.
I never knew that.
They don't count. At least in the original game, I don't think they did, and I still don't think they do, actually. Yeah, it's very odd. I don't really know why it works that way, but it works. So, the next thing we're going to be doing is the minecart ride. Again, this is heavily optimized. I've totally executed perfectly up to this point, and there's no way that I'm going to mess up the shortcut there. Totally.
There's no way. You haven't done it recently in anything we've done. Absolutely.
No, there's no way. But yeah, so the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through another, like, kind of dungeon area known as Booster Tower. And Booster Tower's got one of the best songs. It's also, like, got some really tricky platforming, and it has a lot of enemies that we cannot run away from. Obviously, we don't want to gain experience. We don't want to be fighting things. And being able to run away from things is really, really nice. But we won't be able to do that in Booster Tower. So it's imperative that I platform well, that I avoid the enemies. Luckily, this game has a very generous autosave feature, which again was not in the original game. You did not have autosaves on NES. And it is definitely a big time save for the Switch version. Spike, do you want to talk about this shortcut and kind of like the lore behind the shortcut?
Yeah, so here, there's 4 different sections to the minecart ride. You got 2 of these kind of more like open world-ish sections, and you've got like 2 little 2D sections. When we come back to the second of these more open areas, there's this one in the original, there's this one jump that always looks like you could do it. Like you could boost with one of the mushrooms and jump all the way to a far off little section. But you never could. You never actually could do it. In the remake, they decided, you know what? Let's actually make that possible. So let's see if Kuiper can execute it right here. Yeah.
I was a pixel too short.
Yeah, you actually have to jump like really late to get it. It's not like a trivial thing to hit. But yeah, if you are able to hit that, it saves like 20, 30 seconds on the ride.
And the other thing that's really weird about it is you have to jump really late, but if you jump too late, you kind of do this like really awkward like short hop and you don't make it. So it's actually very, very precise. They did not make the shortcut for free, even though they thought it was cute to add it. And of course, we're gonna have a little bit of a slower time now on the ideally, I think you could get like sub 140s if you get all of the shortcuts and stuff and you don't crash out like I have been.
I know you can at least get like low 140s. I don't know if we ever got like sub 140. Maybe we did.
It might be close to sub 1. I mean, knowing there's got to be somebody out there. Gamers are gamers.
Yeah, like anytime take speedrunners, put anything in a popular Nintendo game and give it a timer. Like it could be the silliest little, it could be a fishing mini game. They will try to optimize that time down as much as possible. So, not bad. Ideally, still sub 210.
Yep. Ideally, we would have gotten like a 150 something there, but again, the shortcut is not easy. It's one of those weird things where like you don't want to jump too early because obviously you won't make it. But if you wait too long, Mario will do this like very strange, almost kind of like it's almost like you miss the jump and he just kind of like jumps off the rail in general and you crash. That's kind of what happened. It's very, very strange. But yeah, we've already gotten. I think that's our third Power Star or Power Star. I don't know.
We'll call them Power Stars. Yeah. We're rebuilding Star Road. Yeah,
we're rebuilding.
And now, after this cutscene, we finally get the first key item, the Lucky Jewel, from this toad over here that we go and actually buy a couple different things from him throughout the course of the run, including a couple things like right at the end. But yeah, the Lucky Jewel is what's going to force that minigame. Now, the thing about the Lucky Jewel is we can only use it so much. I think you can only use it 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah. And after the 10th time, it actually breaks and goes away. So we have to make sure we're going to have to pair that with the lucky hammer that Mario can equip and use in fights later on. But for today, all we're really worried about is the Lucky Jewel. Well, I guess we'll see the hammer.
I mean, ideally, we're going to see the hammer, but... It's our friend, the Toad. He is going to give us the Lucky Jewel. And now, officially, low level has begun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We have the capability to never gain any more experience for the course of the run, which right now, you're already low level. Like, level 3 for Mario at this point, it's more common you probably 7, between level 7 even 10 right now. So being level 3, you are far underpowered for what you're supposed to be. And that's why stuff like knowing stuff like the work pants, little things like that, upping your power and your speed is so important. Knowing how to farm your jumps up as much as possible is very, very important. And knowing how to get access to as many of the big AoE damaging bombs in the game, the fire bombs, the ice bombs, the fright bombs, the rock candies, like Kuiper just got back right there. I've always described this about Super Mario RPG low level, because on the surface, you can look at this run and just say, what a meme. Oh, and it's a meme. Let's be clear about that.
Oh,
it's a total meme, but I understand where Kuiper comes from. Where like it's weirdly like one of our favorite speedruns because it is a miracle that all these different systems are in place in the game that can make a category like this work. Because it's not a simple answer for how do you stay at a low level and how do you have enough firepower to get through all of these fights in the game while Mario's level 3 and everyone's just a few levels higher than him. You got to use all the different items and shops and little secrets and hidden tidbits all around the world that you have access to in order to make this possible. And I think that's super, super cool.
You really have to empty the chamber as far as like everything the game gives you access to in order to even complete this run. And again, kind of what Spike was alluding to give you guys an idea of how, like, under-leveled we are right now with Mario and Mallow. We just got Bowser in our party. Bowser is level 8. He just got into our party. So that's how underpowered we all are at the current moment. And these are the snippets that I want to avoid because I can't away from them. So yeah, from this point forward, I'm going to have to rely on, again, that jump mechanic that we talked about, some of the more gimmicky stuff, those bombs that we referred to. And every single one of these fights is micromanaged down to the point where, like, if you mess up, a lot of these fights are, like, not unwinnable, but they get really, really challenging to manage if you don't execute properly. And again, it all comes down to, again, all of those timed inputs that we're doing, the timed blocks that we're doing, boss knowledge, knowing kind of what attacks you should be anticipating, things like that. Also knowing to not get into these encounters because they're scary. We're going to jump over the bullet bills. Also, like, we haven't actually gotten a chance to talk about it yet. So this game, the original game, the SNES game, has a wonderful sound. The soundtrack in this game is completely redone, I think, by the same composer.
Yep,
Yoko Shimomura
did both of them.
Yep, and this soundtrack is so good. Every single area has very recognizable, wonderful music. I really love the jazzy sound of this area. Also, I'm going to focus a little bit here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also think it is kind of a miracle as well that with all the changes that they made in the remake, they made a lot of gameplay changes. They moved stuff around. They added in whole mechanics. Like the whole battle system has been reworked. Yeah, GG's Kuiper, well done. But that low level still works with all of those changes. So the category did not get obsoleted by the remake.
Honestly, when the game came out, a lot of us were worried that, is this for a myriad of reasons?
I didn't think it was going to be possible.
Yeah, there's I remember calling, a month before the game came out, I leaned into my mic and I said, you're going to be able to follow the eggs. And as turns out, yes,
wrong.
You could. I wasn't wrong, but honestly, it's funny, thinking about it now, you can follow it, but we don't care which one is the correct egg. We care which one is the bad egg. Because there's a certain amount of allure to a run like this that you almost want it to be it's RNG, it's a little trashy in a way that I got Knife Guy, Great Guy here. This is the first fight where we're gonna do it. And famously, I know when I do this takes me between 9 and 37 tries.
Give you guys,
every time.
It is uncanny. Every single time I've ever raced a fight. Normally by this point in the run, I'm fighting the next boss. I'm doing whatever. It is uncanny. This is the first gimmicked fight. This is the first one where we're going to be following eggs, doing team left and team right. This is the first one. Spike gets stuck here every single time. Without fail. It is unbelievable how he constantly gets stuck here. But yeah, count me
it's just a 1 and 4.
Yeah, count me as one of those people that did not think low level was actually going to.
I didn't think it was going to be possible.
Nintendo was so close to accidentally taking this category out to pasture and just shooting it by not opening up all 3 eggs at the start. Right? They open up the Yoshi egg. They show you where Yoshi is. If Nintendo would have been we'll show you all 3 eggs, the category would have immediately died.
Yeah.
Which would have been tragic. I
guess
the enjoyment, you could still do the category, but the enjoyment of it would have been gone.
Yeah, it would have been different. It would have been closer to the Kingdom Hearts runs that beat the game at level 1, where it's just an ability you equip and you just stay at level 1 the whole time. Mm-hmm. So there would have been the still, how are you able to get through the game at these low levels? But we like that, this is a very popular, we've had a lot of big races. I know the first month this game came out, after Kuiper, y'all put the kind of, yeah, you know, Pi and Alan M put together the route, and then you did some refinements. We got like 12, 15 people, which is a lot to race a like 10-hour-long category at the time, you know.
To do something that on a bad day could take you, like Spike said, 8 to 10 hours. Getting that many people to do it was very, very rewarding for me. Again, this is as jokey as it is, as silly as it is. This truly is like my favorite speed. I have been so excited ever since Kiara offered to have me on to showcase this, because I think this is one of the best speedruns that exist. The fact that you can even do this in this game, I think, makes it super fun. And again, after we get past Knife Guy, Great Guy, it's going to get interactive. You people at home, the people watching right now, you at home on your couch, in your computer chair, maybe you're in another thing that you're sitting on. We'll talk about it. You will be able to influence what egg I pick, the left egg or the right egg. But let's we'll show off what the minigame actually looks like here in a second. One thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a couple more things, and we're going to do our first set of equips and party order adjustments. Oops, I wanted to grab the frog coin, but I wanted to get the chest of it first. There we go. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to swap in Bowser. We're going to swap the two of them in their positions. I'll explain why here in a second. We're not going to do anything there. We're going to put the Booster's Charm here. We're going to put the Work Pants here. We're going to put the Zoom Shoes here. The reason we did that is because we're going to get an autosave as we enter this fight. You can see the autosave in the bottom right corner. So every time I fail this fight, I don't get out of the fight, it's going to immediately put me into that. So there's a lot of micromanaging of when you do your menu, when you do your equips. That way you can force these really optimal autosaves. So this is the first gimmick fight. We're actually going to cast a little bit of a fear spell on both of these enemies.
Nice.
Make sure that they take more damage. And then again, you're going to see how much damage these consumables do. That just did 360 damage to Knife Guy, and then this Rock Candy is going to do 300 damage to both of them.
Yeah, super nice that the damage values are consistent.
Yes. Big fan of the damage value. We're going to get Echo Finder. We're going to block it.
Nice block. That's one of the more awkward spells in the game to block, in all honesty.
I've played this game a couple times.
That was pretty good. Because you block it like halfway in the middle of the spell. It's bizarre.
Alright, so I think what we're going to do here is, even if I don't get XP, I'll show what the minigame looks like, just to show the chat. So, here we go. Here's our first crack. We want to see XP or coins. XP, we don't want to see coins. And we got coins.
What a double your coins.
What a double your coins. Right, so normally what I would do here, I would just go to the main menu, I would close the game, I'd reopen the game. But to show you guys what the Yoshi minigame looks, it looks like this. So, imagine this says double experience. I would say yes. Yoshi's going to be in the middle egg, and then the other two eggs are going to shuffle. I'm going to follow the left egg. So that egg on the left, we're going to follow it. It ended on the left, so we're going to select the left egg. And that is not what we want. We do not want the tie. We want that little guy in the center, fuzzy. So, normally, if this was XP, you would reset, but I got to reset. So, you saw what we're looking for. We do not want coins. We want experience, and we want the little black fuzzy. And we're going to be doing that until I get out of the fight. Welcome to low-level GDQ.
So it begins.
This is what it is. You do this for the rest of the game. You do this for every single fight, including some really, really tough late-game bosses in the final area, the, like, Abyss/Factory, where we're going to be fighting bosses that have, like, close to, like, 2,000 HP. And it gets pretty crazy, the strats that you have to go for. And yeah, we're going to get through this fight. Again, we're going to use up these consumable items here. We're going to use the firebomb again. Ooh, we got a freebie on that rock candy. It doesn't.
Meaning we fail. Yeah, we save state. If you ever freebie, if you ever get a double freebie, that means that fight is dead. You will 100% not get out on that one. Because obviously freebies of these really powerful AoEs are really, really nice. Good to see a miss right there. We could generally fill in a little bit of damage with Mario if needed. Yeah, mainly just trying to get in another jump with him.
He was upset that he missed. Okay.
Man. Yeah, so should be able to option to Mario instead.
Ooh, he didn't die, though.
Oh, can we get the block?
Nope.
Oh, he's a legend.
I mean, it didn't do anything, so... Bowser is very tanky, so he's gonna die here. Alright, this is attempt number 2. And that guy, great guy. I really hope that Spike's presence alone doesn't mean
God.
that I'm gonna be stuck here forever. Alright, we got XP. We got XP. Okay. So, we're going to follow the left egg for this first demonstration. We're going to follow the left egg and see where it goes.
Oh, mama.
It is in the middle. And we're out
Let's go!
All right. That is how low level works. There it is. We have to do that 24 more times, everybody.
Woo!
We got to do that 24 more times.
And now we go directly into the next set piece, the next minigame.
We do. Do you want to explain what this minigame is?
Yeah, Booster Hill. This is impossible. That's what it is. No, Booster Hill is a little cute minigame here where you can basically just gain yourself a lot more FP, a lot more flower points. And that's by just jumping on the siphons, jumping on the barrels that start rolling down. In the remake, they also added red barrels in the second half of the race that just come at you twice as fast. Generally, the good strategy is you just want to stay in the middle. The barrels come out in a very consistent pattern. So this race, or this minigame definitely gets a lot harder when you try to drift from left to right. I feel like Mario just kind of drifts pretty wildly. So staying in the middle is generally good. And I don't know about you, Kuiper, once the red barrels start showing up, that's when I start to hug the right side, because I just get more of a lead in when they're coming down. But either way, whatever you want to do, the more FP you get, the better, primarily for after
really getting really bad RNG from the barrels that are funny. Like, they're not spawning in the center. It's really funny. There we go. Because I don't really care much about my FP, because again, there's going to be a big skipping ahead. Yeah, this is the part where you kind of want to drift a little bit back and not avoid. There we go.
Nice bounce off the snippet.
My highest I've ever gotten on Booster Hill, I believe, was 12. And that is not necessary. You do not need to flex that hard and get 12 flowers. If you do, though, it's pretty... Also, one of my favorite things to do is just kind of let Mario just get owned the entire time.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You just bounce. Like, look at how good this animation is. Just like...
Boing.
Just boing. And he's gonna roll. And he's gonna bounce around forever. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, we don't really care too much about our FP. This is not an actual run. Normally in this, you want to get like 8. But yeah, it's Booster Hill. So, we are coming up on the second... I still got 8 flowers. We are coming up on the second boss. And when I tell you that this run is obviously brutal in the sense of the RNG and all that other stuff, when I tell you guys that the second boss of the gimmicked portion of this run is the make or break boss in the early game, I'm not exaggerating. Yeah, Bunt is a massive run killer. Not only is this fight insanely difficult, it's got 4, technically, I guess 3 phases to it. It's hard, even if you're normal level, and we are obviously not. Mm-hmm. Also, this guy is... I don't know why.
I swear, you gotta go in front of him.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this fight is really, really difficult. There's a lot of moving pieces. He has a ton of AoE spells, but we're going to be showcasing the first little taste of a strat that was discovered while the routing process of this game was going on. And the strat is to try to do it justice right now is going to be challenging, but basically the strat is known as revolving door. So one of the things that you can do in this game that you couldn't do on the SNES version was we can swap our party members in and out of the fight during the fight. And I think normally on most, you know, RPGs, your Pokemon games, things like that, when you swap a character out, that uses up your turn normally. Well, in this game, it doesn't. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to kind of manipulate our speed stats in a way where we can basically double up on our turn. So what's going to happen is before I entered the fight, what you saw me do there is I made Geno really, really fast, and I made Mallow really, really slow. And the reason I'm doing that is because I made Mallow slower than the boss, but I made Geno faster than the boss. So what's going to happen is when we get into the phase where I'm attacking the boss, you're going to see Geno get multiple turns in a row. And it really just kind of makes the fight a lot, way more trivial than it is in the original game. But it also just kind of makes certain fights in this game doable. There are item caps in we have not discussed that, actually. There are item caps in this game, whereas normally there aren't in the SNES version. You can hold, I mean, you can have like a total item cap in the original game. You can only hold 29 items. But if you wanted 29 of those items to be rock candies, they could be. In this game, you can only hold 3 rock candies. So later on, in a lot of the fights where we're like, you know, spamming rock candies over and over again, we can't do that. So this revolving door strat comes in handy in 2 other spots in the run, but this is going to be the first, so I'll try to call it out when it happens.
All right, now that Kuiper is done with that long-winded explanation, I do want to say we have Team Left and Team Right on screen. You've been seeing it there all the time, and if you want to influence whether we are going Team Left or Team Right, every sub that you say, just give us a, I want this on left, I want that on right, or every 250 bits. So each of your 1,000 bits, that's 4 points. Split them evenly, put all on left, put it all on right. It's currently up to you entirely. And to get us started on the board here, Kuiper, are you a Team Left or Team Right?
I am Team Left.
All right, so that's 1 point for Team Left. Spike, what about you?
God, can I go Team Center? Nah. No. I'm big Team Right. Big Team Right.
Team Right? Okay, I'm also Team Right. So let's do 1 point for Team Left, 2 points for Team Right. And I did that because I knew Kuiper would be angry about that. So,
ooh, angry.
But yeah, any subs, any bits in 250-bit increments in chats, you can pick which egg Kuiper is going to pick all run long. So that's going to be a running tally the entire night.
I got punched in the face. So here, so you're going to see me swap to Geno. Oh, I should not have done that, actually. Here, we're going to actually reset. I got ahead of myself. We'll build up our chain again, because the chain's actually kind of, I didn't want to put a chain. All right, so now what we're gonna do
your
is
damage here is a little particular.
Yeah, I wanna make sure the chain, actually. So that reset's actually not that big of a deal. So we'll build the chain back up. Here, we're actually going to do... I did the Lucky Jewel phase, right? I did. All right, so we're gonna do this. Now we're gonna do this, and hit button face. Okay, so you just noticed how Mallow went last, right? I swapped in Geno for Mallow, and Geno went on Mallow's turn. But now Geno's gonna go again. So because we've manipulated our speed stat over and over again, we've sort of manipulated the boss so that we know when we're going to get to go each turn. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap in Mallow again and throw a red essence on Mario, which is going to protect Mario, because again, you're going to start seeing some big AoE spells coming out of this cake. And this cake is kind of a jerk. So we're going to try to keep Mario alive for as long. Nice red essence that it doesn't matter. LOL, that's hilarious. And the objective here is to blow out the candles. And the way we blow out the candles is we smack him in the face. That's how you blow out the candles.
Oh.
We're gonna
and that's why Kuiper's not even bothering timing these attacks. You literally just have to do any hit, and that will put out the candles. So by getting these extra turns each time, that allows you to get ahead of the game so much faster.
Yep. He is basically going to be dead right now. So we're already into phase 3. So that basically took care of the entire, like, middle phase there, which is really, really tough. And now we could just kind of solo with Bowser, even if he kills G. We can basically just solo with Bowser. Now, keen observers might have noticed something. I have not gotten an autosave in a long time. Yeah. The reason why this fight is a make or break fight, and one of the worst fights, is because all of that stuff that you just saw me do, entering the room, watching the cutscene with Peach, obtaining her items, giving her items back, and that entire fight that you just saw, you have to do that every single time you lose this fight. It is a 7-minute time loss. Every single time Bunt does not let you out. Now here's the kicker. Bunt is not a 1 in 4 because Bunt doesn't give you coins. Bunt gives you only experience. So I only have to win a coin flip in order to get out of this fight. So,
not bad,
Yara,
not bad.
Yara,
what's up?
What egg am I picking?
Well, right now it is tied.
Right now it's tied.
For left and right.
If
So
it's
Spike,
tied,
you have
you
a
go
coin
teams.
you can flip.
Yes, I do.
All right, Spike's gonna flip a coin if it's tied.
Okay.
Spike, heads for left, tails for right.
Okay.
We're doing the honor system here.
Okay.
Team right.
We're going
Team right. All right, let's go.
Team right. Okay. Team right. So we're following the right egg.
Thanks for the subs and bits, everybody.
It is on the left. And
Ah!
we are fighting the
Bad
cake again.
coin.
All right.
Well,
Okay,
now
good. We
team
got
left is
another
ahead.
point for left. So let's go. We got 4 for team left, 3 for team right.
We are fighting the cake again.
7 more minutes, baby. Yeah, this is a big... Kuiper, I imagine whenever, you would potentially do more attempts of this, it's a, you got to get this within 2 tries, or we're back to the start of the game.
So what's crazy is my turbo world record, which is a 5... What is... I have my splits on the screen right now. It is a 5:37. I got a 3rd or 4th try bunt in that run. And really was just kind of continuing it on the idea of, like, the next fight that gives me a problem, I'm just going to quit. And then I casually just got the fastest time ever. So, my general rule of thumb, if I'm doing this by myself, which I have done, I am not always joined by friends. Sometimes I go on adventure alone. My general rule of thumb is I give it 2 tries. Yeah, most of the time. If I don't get out of Bun on 2 tries, cool. That was our attempt for the week. We'll come back next time. Thanks for watching Low Level. I appreciate it, and we move on. For our purposes here, because this is a very long fight, I will probably do this fight one more time. Nothing's gonna change. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch this 7-minute long cutscene every single time. There are fights that are much faster. As a matter of fact, the very next boss we're going to be doing, King Calamari, it's like less than 1.5 minutes, and the save state's right before the boss. So, like, you fail it, you boot the game right back up, you go back in, you do the fight again. It's very, very quick. This fight's not quick. So, we're trying to trim some time off here, but yeah, this fight's brutal. This is the early game killer. There are 3 really, really tough fights in this run. This is the first one. There's another one in the mid-game portion, which is Dodo Valentina, and then we haven't even gotten to the big kit caboodle of this run, which is Boomer Exor. Do one of you want to explain Boomer Exor over here?
We can wait till episode 2 for that one,
All right, cool.
Everybody's gonna forget.
I like it.
Anyway, Boomer Exor is... I'll explain it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll explain it again. Boomer Exor is the Wombo combo fight. So, with no break in between, you have... You have to win or lose 2 mini games. Yeah, it's 2 of them. So like the first one is guaranteed to be a 1 and 3, or is it the second one that's guaranteed to be a 1 and 2?
It's the second one that's guaranteed.
Yeah, so the first one acts like Knife Guy, Great Guy, where you have to roll the 50-50 to get XP and then lose the mini game, which is another 50-50. And then you have to kill Exor right after, and then lose that mini game for a grand total of a 1 in 8 chance of making it through, which is significantly better than the 1 in 18 that it was in base version. But still, that's enough where it can be White's rough.
I know. I mistimed that punch, which is why he didn't die.
But
again,
ahead here, 5-3.
The damage numbers, again, on this fight particularly are very, very tight. Again, we are very weak for being at this point in the run. So if I miss time, like a single one of those attacks, he won't transition when I want him to. But yeah, just to elaborate on what Kiara said, there is a point in this game where you have to defeat 2 bosses back-to-back in a row with no break in between, which means you have to lose the minigame both times in succession. And having to win a 1 in 4 chance and then a 1 in 2 chance back-to-back means you got a 1 in 8 chance of getting out of that fight. It's pretty... honestly, for the most part, you're just sad the entire time.
Yeah, I think when I did this on original version, when it was 1 in 18, I think it took me like 40 some odd attempts to make it through. Killed Boomer or Exor 40 plus times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You might think, oh no, Mallow's on the floor right here, is that you can still swap out their dead bodies and put them in. The best thing you do is you can swap in a dead body. Like Mallow,
yeah,
get back in
you just have somebody with a
a
big shovel. It's like, all right, get out of there.
Ooh, funny. Sense to her.
Yeah, so the body gets slid in, which is it's more funny.
We bought the Fearless pin earlier when we were in Rosetown, and like, this is the reason why you have that. Because Sandstorm is a very, very, man, he really likes it. Good God. It's one of the most annoying AoEs in the game because it inflicts the fear status if you don't have that Fearless pin on, which causes you to take double damage and you deal half damage. It's ridiculous.
All right,
and it's the primary reason why none of us got past the cake as a kid.
This is going to be our last attempt on Bunt. Again, I won't be jumping ahead like this all of the time. But again, in interest of time, we're going to be jumping ahead again here after. But this is a very long, very arduous...
Oh, no, it's going to be this one. You're also going to go team left here.
I am going team left? Okay.
Team left.
Okay, I don't want to skip ahead. I don't want to skip ahead if I don't have to. So...
Again, it's just a 1 and 2. It's just a coin flip.
A 50-50, and we're going team left.
Team left.
Team left.
Follow the left egg.
It's on the right.
Like it was right.
No!
No!
Boo!
Boo. So this would have been a sad day where we reset.
Yep, this would have been a sad day, and I would have ended the stream, and it would be like, all right, guys. Tune in next time. We'll play some Donkey Kong 64.
And what you just saw, chat, is the classic. Because we always do this and like, yeah, donate, subs, bits, whatever, and we'll like, you know, pump up the teams. So you saw the last one. Technically, my coin decided we were going to go team right. As soon as the chat moves it to a different team, that's when it then jumps to the other team without fail every single time.
So as you see, we have not missed any gameplay. This is literally the cutscene that plays immediately after you've beaten Bunt. We have not missed any gameplay. That's the reason why I have these all set up. But yeah, there is someone in the chat. I don't know. One of my longest... Man, I couldn't tell you how long this person has been following my channel. And, you know, just, you know, being a genuinely, like, you know, important member of my community, Neonius. When I tell you people that this man has ended, I mean ended, like just ended multiple multiple low-level runs by just giving me money. It's unbelievable the amount of times that he has just moved the egg off of the thing that I really needed him not to move it. It's incredible. I don't know how he does it. He has by far caused me the most amount of pain out of anybody that I've ever, that's ever come around and been like, hey, you're doing this thing, and I get to influence what team you pick. I'll take part. I'll gift a sub. I'll give you a couple bits here and there. Neonius, every time I do this run, he comes in, he's got a couple hundred bits, and he just constantly moves the egg to the left egg. That's what he does. He never picks right, he always picks left, and every time that he moves it to the left when it was on the right, I would have gotten out if I would have just stayed to the right. It happens without fail. So... Oh, I didn't get that. Oh, actually, this is a save state.
I mean, you reloaded the same. I know.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you were going to remember.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Yeah, so right now what we're doing is we're going to watch a couple cutscenes that'll give me a chance to explain what we're going to be skipping next, because we're going to be skipping by far the most boring, monotonous part of the run that absolutely nobody here wants to watch, I promise you. So you've noticed we've been doing this jump farm, we've been building up our jump stat. Well, you're probably wondering, well, are you going to have enough jumps by the end game to deal a lot of damage? Hell no. Not even close. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to dedicate some time to jumping on one of those spiny enemies that you saw at the very, very beginning of the run. We're going to have to jump on that spiny about 150 to 200 times in order to get our damage number on jump up to a point where it's comfortable enough to where we're going to be dealing sufficient damage. It takes anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes to do that. We take advantage of a lot of the flower items we've been getting to fill our FP back up, some of the maple syrups you just saw me buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Booster Pass, which is an area that we opened up before. We jumped on a green switch and opened up Booster Pass. It's like a little secret area. We're going to go in there. We're going to do, maybe I'll do a session of jump farming. I'll show you guys, show you how the area, and then we're going to load up another save state where we move on, and that will be the last, I guess not really the last, it'll be the last, really big, chunky part of the run that we just, skip over, because it's just not very interesting. We just kind of sit here and jump on a spiny for 20 minutes, and that's not good stream value. At least, at that point, that's usually the point in the run where, I usually back up the chair, people get up and stretch if you want, take a bathroom break, go get some dinner, whatever the case may be. I'll just be here jump farm. And it's actually an interesting thing because we have to jump farm in the remake because we just don't have enough inventory space to carry enough items to kill everything in the game. In the original game, we've been talking about Pi a lot, actually. Pi took it upon himself to route out SNES low level without jump farming. And it is wild. It is way more difficult. It is way more precise. You use a lot more consumable items, which again, we've actually discovered ways to manipulate those items. So they're basically infinite for us on the SNES version, and Pi takes advantage of that and allows us to skip the jump farm on the SNES version, which I have never done. I have never done that route before. I'll be honest, it's a little bit of a sick part of this for me. I actually kind of like the jump farm, just because it's really chill. You're just not really doing anything. You're just kind of jumping on a spiny, unless you're Mr. Spike Vegeta.
Oh God! Oh God!
Who, for whatever reason, just really, really likes accidentally killing the spiny. Because again, if I kill this spiny, I gain experience, and I can't have that. Also, you have to start the farm over again. And, Spike, you've never killed the spiny, have you?
Never. Is that 3 times?
It's been a couple times.
Listen, I've definitely never lost like 14 minutes because I killed the spiny. I think it was like near the end of the actual farm, like an actual 20-minute time loss. And it comes, you know, like this is one of those where you're doing a lot of inputs, and I'm trying to put the in, whatever it is, as quickly as I can. So you're trying to defend, then quickly go over and mash out another defend, then mash the jump button. And sometimes I just go a little too fast for one of them. And instead, like, Gino walks up and says, here's this Gino beam. I'm gonna Kamehameha this dude that he is not impervious to, and then he dies, and there's no, you can't like mistime the Geno beam well enough, even minimum damage, it will die. It will die many times over.
Nice first try runaway. So basically, what you just saw me do, I exhausted all of my FP. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna grab these items. And normally what I would do here is, you see all these flower items, I would cycle through using all of these, ultimately the maple syrups, to boost my jump stat all the way up, way past what you're normally supposed to have at this point. And that takes about 20 minutes. But through the magic of save states, we're going to skip that part of the run, and I get to show off what I named all of these saves when I was creating this for GDQ. Here we go. Kuiper does low level for games done quick.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a lot of effort there.
That is, hey, it's a labor of love. So we're gonna skip ahead. Imagine I did that for 20 minutes. You'll notice I am inside Yoster Island on this save. This is just like the save you have, basically, or save pad, you should say. You'll notice I have no FP. I have like 1 out of like, oops, not that button. I have 1 out of like 49 or something like that. So yeah, we've done the entire jump farm. That whole part is done. I've also grabbed some Yoshi cookies since we were here, Yoshi's Island, Yoster Island. And from here, we're just gonna warp over to Tadpole Pond to progress the story, actually.
Oh, plot!
Yeah, there's actually plot going on, believe it or not. We're gonna buy...
Most all of your frog coins are, yeah, spent here in Tadpole Pond for getting various... Those are generally, like, single target or multi-target buffs as far as, like, offensive or defensive stats, and also sleepy bombs from there for any and all enemies that might be susceptible to being put to sleep. Any boss in an RPG you can put to sleep, you probably should.
Yep. We actually are going to be using the sleepy bombs primarily to deal with NPC enemies that we cannot, believe it or not, we actually cannot skip certain encounters with certain enemies. So there are going to be some sharks that we encounter inside of this ship. They're called the bandanas. And the bandanas are a forced encounter that is not a boss. And because we can't defeat them through, like, normal means, because we get experience, we have to find some other way to defeat them. And again, getting to, like, what Spike talked about earlier when we were heading into Booster, all of these mechanics in this game just naturally exist, and they line up so well. Those Yoshi cookies, on top of, you know, the utility they provided us earlier in getting those fire bombs, they're also going to aid us in defeating those bandanas without gaining any experience, because when Yoshi eats an enemy, you don't really defeat them, right? You're just kind of like removing them from the fight. We don't get any experience from it. It's incredible that all of these independent systems that are in this game all work together in a way to make this run possible. And
yep,
we're actually going to be using the cookies a lot more in this run than the original route did. So another item in this game that you can get is an item called the Lamb's Lore, and it's effectively this infinite, well, that's not infinite uses, it has like 100 uses or something like that. I don't know what the number is, it's a lot. But it basically allows us to just get rid of any normal enemy, barring like a couple exceptions. You could just like, a little lamb comes down and it like turns them into a little sheep and it poofs them off the screen. I've actually gone through the process of routing that out of the route. You can still do it. It's a very, very easy thing to do, but routing out the Lamb's Lore allowed me to cut out the price for buying the Lamb's Lore and it also cut out the item that we need to buy in order to turn the egg that we get into the lamb's lore, which is called the Batub ring. Saving that money allowed me to cut down on the amount of Yoshi cookie farming that we did. And it ultimately was just this like a massive time save that was just kind of like sitting in the route for free. It is a little more difficult because Yoshi cookies aren't quite as reliable as the lamb's lore, but we make it work with what we have. So here we are in Seaside Town, and something is a little weird about Seaside. I don't exactly know. These toads look a little suspicious. I don't know what's going on here.
Looking a little stinky.
They're looking a little stinky, if you ask me. All right, so what do I have to sell? Hopefully I have enough stuff to sell, because again, I'm loading these saves. I have 7 fire. What the heck? I'm loading these saves. I made these saves many months ago. So, the idea that I'm going to be able to keep everything I have here is a little foolish. But hopefully we can just kind of stitch it together, and I have to load some other stuff. We totally can. It's all there. I'm not going to get, like, soft-locked or anything like that. There just might be some little sketchy spots here and there, because, you know, you're basically, I had to, in order to do this effectively, I had to basically beat a run 9 separate times, in which I was getting different freebies, the fights were going differently, the farms were going differently, and it was a little foolish of me to attempt that, but, you know, it is what it is. So, we will make it work, I believe. Again, obviously, thank you so much for all the generosity that's already been shown, the gifted subs, the bits, everything like that. Again, all of this goes to Games Done Quick, and as you all know, if you're here watching Games Done Quick, you know all of the absolutely wonderful work that Games Done Quick has done, not just, of course, their big events. We just had, of course, Flame Fatales. We have the Hotfix shows, which are great. I've been featured on numerous Hotfix shows over the last couple of years. And I actually got my first opportunity to be on a couch for a Games Done Quick event. This past summer, Games Done Quick, I was on the couch. Sound Defense's Sonic run. It was a lot of fun. One of my bucket list items was to get on the GDQ stage in any capacity, not just as like the runner. But yeah, again, we're gonna be doing this little thing where the chat gets to decide team left or team right the entire run, both this episode and next episode 2. And yeah, you can put your money towards supporting Games Done Quick, which is wonderful. Care very much about. Games Done Quick was actually like my introduction to Twitch. I didn't know Twitch existed at all. I messed up that minigame. We're gonna do that again. But yeah, I did not know that Twitch existed until I walked into my buddy's basement one day, and Games Done Quick was on, and I said, "What the heck is this?" And he explained it to me, and I immediately fell in love with it. I immediately speedrunning led me down the finding a couple different content creators, led me down the path of finding some challenge runners, no-hit runners, joining their communities. Ultimately, that led me to Spike's channel. Spike, of course, you know, one of the big reasons why I wanted him here, and Spike's the reason why I do this in the first place. Yeah.
God, I'm sorry.
I know, right? Hold on one sec. I'm going to do this very important code that I do not know the answer to. I totally guessed that out of the top of my head.
Did I ever tell you my, I'll let you finish this, my strategy when I first figured out this puzzle?
What's that?
So I did not know about the minigame doors because like, I'm not going in there. These are hard. So I wrote down with pen and paper every single letter that was in each of those boxes. And then I logicked it out of what possible words it could spell. And I was able to come up with the answer from there.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
So much more work.
It was a lot of work, but I'm still satisfied I was able to do it. So
no, I'm impressed. But yeah, this is our next gimmick fight. It is King Calamari. We're gonna throw 3 firebomb, bright bomb, and we're gonna jump on him. And you guys are gonna. how much damage Jump's about to do. So you guys remember how much damage I was doing roughly on those jumps? It was like, I don't know. What was it, like 100, 130, something like that?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, you were hitting the cake for 100.
I was hitting the cake for about 100, right? That is not how much we're about to do. We're going to do a whole lot more. So,
here, Sound Defense has 5 points he can put towards something.
Left or right, Sound Defense. Team Right, let's go.
Let's go.
That's 6 to 8. Team Right is your next one, unless somebody decides to upend it. Big shout out to Sound Defense. Awesome runner.
We are unboosted, and that is 100 and almost 90 damage. That's nothing. The next boss I'm about to fight, you're going to see that number go way up. Oh, we're going XP.
Okay, no way. Is this the first try?
We're going Team Right, first try.
Team Right.
There's no way. There's no way.
It ain't going to happen.
Nope, that is not the first try. Okay.
Sound Defense, you did nothing. We would have been out. Kaifer, you said this was going to happen. So
dude, I'm telling you, without fail. Without fail.
When I tell all of you, it doesn't matter if I'm doing this run, if Spike's doing this run, if we've had Void, we've had our friend Derpy, we've had our friend Wooden Barrel, we've had a bunch of people do this run. I'm telling all of you right now, if you come into my chat and you see me doing this run, and you give me 100 bits and you change the team, I'm not going to get out. It's just not going to happen.
No shot.
There is something about this game that it thinks it's really, really funny. And
it is.
Oh, it is.
Hilarious.
It will keep you. My favorite thing that happened, and this happens in every low-level run, player, how many runs you've done. If you accidentally pick the egg that you weren't supposed to pick, and it doesn't get you out, you are going to be stuck there for an hour.
You might as well reset the run at that point.
Yeah, it's almost like the game knows you messed up and is mad at you and is like, nope, you did the wrong thing. You did the incorrect thing, and I'm going to keep you here forever.
Second.
And it happens without fail. So
that's great, because now we're definitely going to get EXP this time.
We did.
And we're going right.
And it is a middle.
Out on the second try.
We'll
second
take
try.
it.
Let's go. All right.
Sound Defense. Thank you
The
for
3 or less. Yeah, the 3 or less prediction believers. Congratulations on the channel point.
Tries all day. Now, here's another thing that happens in every low-level run. I don't know when it's going to happen, y'all. I don't know when it might happen today. It might happen in episode 2. I don't know when it's going to happen. There's going to be a fight where I get coins constantly.
Like 7 in a row.
Yeah, like 7 in a row. And it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense that happens when you really think about the odds of it's just a 50-50. It's just 2 50-50. And yet this chest is just so toxic. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
It happens randomly out of nowhere. You'll just get a fight where I get coins 7 times in a row. Should that happen? No. Does it happen? Yes.
Because again, keep that on. Let's just say 7. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 1 in 128 chance that you flip, tails 7 times in a row. It's absurd. It's hilarious.
Hopefully ADEF's not here to be like, actually, that's not how percentages work.
Percentages work.
I did a YouTube video about this.
Also, God, he should do a YouTube video on low level. That'd be great.
Also, we're coming up to the Staircase of Doom. This is how you traverse it. Don't move. Honestly, that looked like I did nothing, and the answer is I did nothing. That cheap at the top of those stairs is so toxic. That thing will read your inputs. That thing will pin you up against the wall and not let you leave.
That's a From Software boss right there. That guy.
He is a jerk. And I don't know when I discovered it, but at some point, I was just kind of messing around one day. Just didn't move for like those first couple beats there like you saw, and he just swam out of the way. And I jumped down the stairs. And that has been my strat for that dude ever since. Because it works. Because it works. I don't know why it works, but it works. So, We are here at the bandanas. We're gonna use Yoshi. Yoshi is hungry. Yoshi's gonna eat these guys and turn them into energizers. It's very graphic. I'm sorry. I know this is supposed to be a family-friendly stream. It's very, very graphic. This is not for the faint of heart. Yoshi also has a 90% chance to eat them and a 10% chance to fail. And you just saw me fail twice.
That's 1 in 100 right there, and that is how percentages work and probability works.
That is totally how percentages work. Yes, totally.
No, that's legit. Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you. I'm actually a math expert. So.
I believe you. All right, so this last guy will run away. We don't need to waste the Yoshi cookie. He'll just run away, and you'll see we gain nothing from that fight, which is great. We want that. There's one more fight. You gain nothing.
Good day, sir.
There's one more of those fights that we need to do. This one we're gonna opt to use a bomb on them because there are more bandanas. And honestly, those attacks you saw them doing, I blocked them, but they're not the easiest attacks to block, and they hurt like a lot. If I don't perfect block that attack with Mario will just die.
Yeah.
It's to keep. I want everyone to just keep in mind this entire time. We are almost at the half. Not say like. Would you consider this point spike to be like the halfway point in the game? Would you say?
I've always considered like Johnny and Eurytovich to be in Speedruns in this game. That is the halfway point of the video game. Yeah. So you're right there.
Yeah, we are nearing the halfway point in this game, and I am still level 3. I'm still level 6 with Gino. Gino has not leveled up at all since he's been in our party. Gino is level 6. So all of these enemies that we're supposed to be like level 10, 11, 12 at this point, we're level 3. So anytime I don't all those perfect blocks you're seeing me do, those are all like necessary. Like you need to not take damage in this. Otherwise, you're just gonna die and waste a lot of time dying in the fights rather than like losing them, you know, like we would in the mini games. So we are through the bandanas, and we're going to be coming up on the next boss fight. It is my guy, Johnny. I may or may not have an emote with that dude's face on it.
Yeah, can we see Johnny's face in chat?
Yeah,
Thanks.
if anybody's got the Johnny emote, again, we're going to sandbag here. Oh, we'll grab this chest to make sure I'm topped off on health. We have more team left. Thank you guys so much for the support to GDQ. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, so the reason I have an emote with this guy's face on, that is his sprite from the original game. The reason I have that guy as an emote, I tell this story every time, is because one of the first times I ever raced this game, the original run on the Super Nintendo, I raced it with my good friend, One True Buster, who has been a good friend of mine for many, many years. He's a big fan of this game, a big fan of this like me. A masochist like myself. And in that run, my man fought this boss, this guy, for 2 hours. Non-stop. He fought this guy for 2 hours straight.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't help him, I couldn't save him, I couldn't do anything, I was helpless. And after that, he just has this sort of like PTSD type of response to Johnny's like get tough thing. And yeah, I immortalized it in an emote. And yeah, it is by far the craziest odds I've ever seen. XP.
Oh, XP. Well, it's tied. Chat, can you please break the tie? Spike, you know what you have to do.
This time it's team left.
All right, team left.
Also, real quick, I do want to say, you guys saw me. I was dealing 258 damage to Johnny there. Absolutely insane damage given the low level. So we're going team left, correct?
Left. Team left. Good luck.
Team left. We're going team left.
Will this coin bail us out this time?
Come on, coin.
It's on the right.
No!
The coin is awful.
I'm gonna find a new coin, dude.
Spike's gonna. Each coin is only good once, so Spike has to find a new coin for every single one of them.
New coin.
It wasn't even good.
Please, chat, break the tie. Because it's tied, that's why we got the tie in the mini game. So we need to make sure it's not tied.
That is true.
The representation of the bid war.
Yeah, you'll get to see it again here. So I'm reminding everybody, we are level 3 Mario. We are fighting a basic mid-game boss. And with the equips that we have, with the items that we're using, and the power of jump leveled up, I am dealing almost 300 damage per jump to this guy. And basically 3-cycling a mid-game boss with a level 3 character. It is absolutely insane the amount of damage you're able to put out with such a little at your disposal, really. So,
And it's very nice that in the kind of the fake version of all the spoilers, all the toads in a seaside town, that is the only place where you can buy all of those bombs, the ice bombs, the fire bombs, at least at the ease in that way. There's one other shop we can buy them from. There's a little trade-in shop. Later on in the game, we're going to mess with a lot more. But yeah, it's getting all of those. Hell, until much later. It's all of those bombs in conjunction with Mario's powered-up jump that we're able to, like you say, 3-cycle this mid-game boss. In addition to having that sleepy bomb used right there to just take the other 4 out of the fight. All right.
Yo.
But Team Left took the lead.
All right. I just want to point out.
No, it didn't. It's still tied. So
it's still tied. How's it still
tied? I'm flipping. All right, we're going right then.
How?
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry. My mistake. No, we did get 2 more points for Team Left. I just noticed. I'm so sorry. Team Left.
We're going Team Left. We're going Team Left.
Thank you so much. 10-8.
And
could be right, isn't it?
Go!
Oh, my coin was 0 for 3, dude. Please stop.
Chat, you're very good at this. I just want to point out, GDQ chat is very good at this. Very good at low level. Honestly, a bunch of second tries. This is like, I'll take every boss second try. This is like really good RNG. Here's what I'll say. That was
a nice second try. Yep.
Here's what I'll say though. We have not seen a lot of coins yet.
It's coming.
Boy, it's coming.
You always pay your dues.
It's coming. The game wants us to double our coins, chat. You don't understand. So now we're heading into the next boss almost immediately. This is kind of like a quick, the bosses come very, very fast in the portion of the run. Here we're going to be warping. I'm messing up my menus. Here we're going to be warping to Seaside Town. And the lore of, aha, it was a trick. These were fake toads. Give me your power star. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff.
It's weird that he only wants one of them, but keep going.
Yeah, it's weird. So this next boss is originally called Eurytovich. It was changed to Speedruns in the remake. This guy has some of the more intensive backup strats that need to be learned when you're learning this run. Speedruns can do a number of AoE spells. The worst one he can do is Water Blast. And similar to how, Bunt can spam Sandstorm, Eurytovich can, I'm going to call him Eurytovich. Eurytovich can spam Water Blast. And if he spams Water Blast, you can kind of just die. There's very little you can do about it. So he can be a massive jerk. So we want to make sure that he does not do that. So the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to get to see one of those other party moves. I'll show the animation, because the animation's good. We're going to get to see Spare Us All, which is another play on words, by the way, that I didn't know about.
Oh!
Because parasol.
Because it's a parasol. Oh. Get it? It's a parasol. This is going to make this is effectively going to give us
there's an upside down heart. Isn't that like some Kingdom Hearts thing that Peach that's on the bottom of Peach's umbrella there?
I don't know.
Oh, that part. She's a Cage fan.
All right, so there was the first Water Blast. That Water Blast is scripted. He will always start with Water Blast. always the first thing he does. We really, really, really don't want to see another. So it would be very sad if he did another one.
Yeah, because Sparasol gives you all three of them one free attack, one free block. So Water Blast just gets completely negated. Now from here, we'd like to see him use a bunch of single target magic spells or just little piercers, and we can block all of those. You just don't want more Water Blast.
Yep, okay. This is fine. So here we're actually going to Lucky Jewel. So again, we're using the Lucky Jewel. We can use that on fight. He might die here. He did not, so we're going to finish him off with a Fright Bomb. He will definitely die here. Okay, so we get to skip the whole splitting into separate copies of himself. He was not a jerk, which means this is going to be coins. Like I said. There it is.
Oh, there it is, finally.
I've been around the block enough to know when Yuridovich just cooperates, he's going to give you coins. He'll give you coins. If Yuridovich cooperates, he's going to give you coins.
And again, that's what makes it to where the vast majority of fights are a 1 in 4 because we have to win 2 coin flips in a row. We need to get EXP instead of coins, and then we need to lose the EXP as opposed to tying with it. And both of those are a literal 50-50 chance.
One of the really annoying things about this fight is you'll notice I have all of Seaside Town. This little, like, area that we're in right now, it immediately dumps you into the cutscene and doesn't give you an autosave, which is bogus, because later on in the run, when we fight Dodo Valentina, you do get an autosave if you accidentally go into that cutscene before you've, like, done all your shit, or all your stuff. So,
whoa there, Kuiper. I'm gonna have to ding you on that one. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's been a long night. I'm tired. It's my first slip up.
It's 1 a.m. East Coast.
It's 1 a.m. I am not a night person.
Okay, so look, you can't blame being sleepy. Okay, true professionals would not make a mistake like that.
I'm sorry.
The
I'm
Games
sorry.
Done Quick channel.
That's fine. That's my one.
Are you aware of the prestige and honor I am giving you, and you just step on it
I'm so
like
sorry.
that on my show?
I'm never gonna bring me back.
Never gonna bring me
Episode
back.
2 is on the line here, Kuiper.
Oh my goodness.
We're never gonna finish this run.
Now that I'm just not gonna say anything at all. I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm kind of just focused.
Enjoy the next 5 hours of low level, no commentary.
Okay, he's given me the same. So last time he started with Water Blast, then he went Flamestone, then he went Will-O-Wisp.
If we see Will-O-Wisp, we know we're on the same RNG seed.
You know, he gave me Water Blast. So this is a little annoying. So, oh, he missed Mario. What a loser.
Yes,
okay,
this works out. Yeah.
What we're going to do here is we're actually going to... He might live, but that's okay. Yeah, because now my damage is going to be under not boost Hello anymore. Yeah, so instead what we're going to do is we're going to throw a pickup Ice Bomb.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't die here, he's definitely going to die. Okay, he still died. Okay, perfect. So that's one of like the backup strats you have to have.
All right, this is guaranteed second try. We've never seen a third try.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, still team left.
Still going team left. Okay. Are we going to get like 3 straight second tries? I'll pop off. Nope.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Nope, we will not. So yeah.
And now we know.
Each of those, the 2 attacks that Yuridovich gets to sort of get off on you without the protection of Sparasol, both of those attacks can be Water Blast. And if he triple Water Blasts you, you just kind of die. So we really don't want that to happen. There are backup strats if he uses Water Blast on turn 2. There's a backup strat, which you just saw me do, if he does a Water Blast on turn 3. Funny enough, there's actually... I went through the process of routing this category again on the easier difficulty, which is Breezy. You saw me select one of the 2 difficulties in the run. The Breezy route of this is actually, as you can probably imagine, it's a lot easier. And one of the really cool things about this fight in particular is he never gets the opportunity to even potentially water blast you. He dies so quick in that run that we never have to worry about it. Now, hopefully he cooperates once again, because so far, he hasn't.
Based off of the success of chat so far, I think we need a change from team left to team right to guarantee this going through.
I don't know. I'm one of those people. I like to just pick a side and then I stick to it. I usually don't waver. Don't water blast me. Okay, so this is the first time he's gonna do the back-to-back water blast. So what's gonna happen here is Peach is going to live. So Peach lives
1
with
HP.
1 HP. We're going to Ice Bomb. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to throw out Bowser here. Because Bowser's got a lot of HP. Bowser's a tanky. And Bowser is going to use the Lucky Jewel. So now, hopefully he doesn't Water Blast again. Perfect. So now we're going to use this turn to pick up Mario. If I have picked me up. Do I? Yeah. Alright. So we're just going to Ice Bomb up that. Normally, if this was like an actual run, by this in the run, I bought pick-me-ups, but because we're kind of doing this little abridged thing where I'm loading save states, I just hadn't done that yet. So normally here you would like pick Mario up. And nice freebie, by the way. So this is the attack that we don't want to see. This is the attack that splits in two. We're just going to push through it using our Ice Bombs. And this might actually... No, it did not. He is very close to dead. I don't know why he's not dead. Hopefully this kills him. Cool. Alright, perfect. All right. I do know all of the damage thresholds and health values of all the bosses. I don't like have them written down or anything. We're going team left again. But I have a general idea of how dealt out to the boss. We gotta.
All of these have technically, other than Bunt, have been lucky.
Yeah, they have.
Since standard, you can basically, for simpler math, you can say, all right, if it's a 1 in 4, then by the 4th try, that means we got lucky. And
right.
yeah, Bunt's the one's been more than its 2 allotted tries.
All right, so I know I did a sweat. I know I gave my 1. Can I have 1 more? It's a much more mild. Spike knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Because Spike knows what we're about to do.
Okay, I'm gonna say this.
Oh.
Yeah, he should. I'm gonna say he should be able to say it at 1:15 in the morning.
Okay, so
you can say it once.
I'm gonna say it one time. So we are at another farming portion of this run. This farm is for the aforementioned rock candies that Spike talked about earlier. We really, in an ideal world, we would be able to get like a whole bunch of them, right? And use them over the course of the run and, you know, spam them and get to deal a whole bunch of... We're buying the Lucky Hammer, by the way. You just buy that there.
Yep.
That's going to be the main source of our Lucky minigame initiation. But anyway... we can only hold 3 rock candies at a time. Now, we do have a little storage thing that we have back at our... but that also has a cap on it. Also, I'm buying the Sia just for safety.
Yep.
So, we need those rock candies, right? Well, how do we get the rock candies? Well, there's this fun little shop here in Seaside Town with our good friend, Mushroom Boy. Mushroom Boy, runs a very humble, very simple service to where he stands here, he sells you nothing. All he wants is for you to give him mushroom. That's it. That's all he does. You stand here, you talk to him, and you give him mushroom. And there is a small chance, and if you would like to know the odds, it's 10%, where he can give you a rock candy. So the next part of the run is we stand here until he gives me 3 rock candies. He just gave me 1. All right.
No.
He just gave me 1 already. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, what's the whole deal about this, right? So when he gives you a rock candy, the text that pops up is, all right, that was a rippin' shroom. And because we're just kind of like sitting here, we got 2 of them. Because we're just sitting here like feeding this dude mushrooms, and then all of a sudden these rock candies are appearing, I have taken to affectionately refer to this action, what we are doing, as the rock candy farm, but more specifically, I refer to this as rippin' ass. That is what we are doing. We rip ass in this
they're
run.
coming from somewhere.
Because they're coming from somewhere. We don't know where they're coming from, but they're coming from somewhere. And we rip, as I will refer to it from now on, we rip, I want to say like 5 or 6 times in this run.
I think
it's really sink in here, yeah.
I think if you don't get like any freebies ever, I think you end up going 7 times.
Yeah, if you
but usually like you're gonna get an amount of them for free. There was, I think, early on in the route, it was you just sat here and you farmed up. The reason why we're only taking 3 now is because that's your inventory cap on it. You can only hold 3. But if you get more than that, you get to keep them. They just go to Mario's pad. So at first people were like, oh, do we just want to like go till we have 20 or whatever the number was? And that's because then if you don't get freebies later, or if you get freebies later, then technically you're just wasting that time getting all those extra rock candies. So it's kind of nice that it breaks up the farm a little bit. You get the 3 you have, and then in between certain portions of the run, you come back and just farm more. It's nice pacing for the run.
And you know what? Ray brings up a good point here. So you said it more than once. I allotted it once. I have messaged you. It's very important you read this notice in your own time. I've messaged you the consequences of your actions. So if you would please proceed into the channel where I DM'd you this, and please never make this mistake again, Kuiper. Ever.
Yes. Okay, I will. I'm
all right,
paying,
Spike, how many of these are we actually going to do?
We are, well, I mean, on this trip, he's going to get the 3rd and final, the ripping of the booty. And
there we go.
We will never come back to the ripping of the booty. But it's like, canonically, that's what he's doing. Like, that's what's happening.
Yeah, just so you know, like, don't eat a diet of only mushrooms. It's,
it can't
you're going to be missing out on key nutrients.
Mushrooms are one of my favorite pizza toppings. I know we're late night. Does anyone have any favorite pizza toppings? I like a good mushroom, green pepper, and onion pizza. If I'm looking for like a veggie, that's pretty good.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
You know, one of my favorite pizza toppings that I think is quite uncommon, but don't knock until you try it, provided you're not one of the people with the gene where it tastes bad. But cilantro goes very well, or coriander goes very well.
Dude, I'm so sad for everyone who has that gene, who just like cilantro is just awful for them.
Hey, doesn't it? The gene makes it taste like soap, right?
Yeah, it's like color blindness for taste buds. No, gosh, Railcoon, I'm so sorry. Railcoon in the chat. First of all, shout outs to Railcoon for knocking out the park on tech.
Third candy.
GG's, you ripped for the last time.
We're done ripping.
Get out.
We're ripping
it. Yeah, unfortunately,
that's
Ray
not a pizza. That's a flatbread. Listen, flatbreads are also really good.
Flatbreads are good. What are we talking about? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Okay. Normally, all right. What do I do now? I'm trying to think. Like, God, we've jumped around so much.
Yeah, low level is a very not linear run. Like, it's like a lot of times you'll do like a boss fight or something and then go do 4 trips of getting other stuff set up. This is actually the other shop I was talking about where you can end up buying fire bombs, ice bombs, and fright bombs. I always have to point this out. Look at this nice, normal looking menu that you can buy everything from in this. If you go play... I love the original Super Mario RPG. It's one of my favorite games of all time, genuinely. This remake is it, plus a little bit. I think it's great. if you go play the original, that trade-in shop menu looks like it was out of a 1982 Apple computer. Like Square had not updated anything. It's awful looking. It's awful to menu through. It's terrible. And they were like, let's just make it like a human wants to play this, okay? It's so much better.
There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason for it to look as goofy as it is. And be as unintuitive as it is. This is the worst hidden chest in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Also, this platform is impossible to jump on.
Yeah, you may think these cannons are like A, B, or C, but there's actually a range. And this is really silly.
Boing. Ooh, he's going for the aggressive. Ooh.
Yeah, because I want to get the I want to get these guys.
Oh, going for a little fright bomb?
I was not meant to do him first. The Chow's gonna bite me. Oh, he did. Okay.
Oh.
Just fast enough. Okay. Cool.
This is kind of a cute way to route it, because later on, again, there's so much stuff you're gonna farm later on. Now you just have one of those fright bombs a little earlier.
Oh, that's not gonna be the only one we get. We're gonna be getting one inside of the below area too.
Ew.
The routing, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
the integrity. Dude, this screen is a little toxic. Oh my god, the block when he needed it.
I jumped right into that bee. That bee is,
yeah, there's a little bit of nuance to learning like how you want to jump on these flowers. Tomorrow Mario's already facing that way. You have to like sandbag your angle just a little bit. Oh my god. Yeah, if you're too slow on that screen, it gets pretty hairy. Boing, boing. If anyone's wondering, this locks you in place. You can only jump one at a time. There is a little bit of a mini skip where you can like get outside the range of it, but it's like
this is my favorite part of the entire run. This is my favorite part. This guy. See that guy?
Yeah.
That guy doing that? That guy jumping down into that thing? That does not happen unless you're playing low level.
Yep.
What?
Yes. So any percent runners of this game could not figure out how the low-level runners would make that guy not... Because that's supposed to be an encounter. We're supposed to fight that guy like I'm fighting right now. But for whatever reason, low-level, like, he would just, like... You would just skip him, and no one could figure out why. I'm pretty sure, and Spike, you correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it talking to Mushroom Boy?
It's literally talking to Mushroom Boy, yes.
It's literally talking to Mushroom Boy triggers that enemy to skip their encounter.
That makes so much sense because, like, you get that stank from that Mushroom Boy going in there because the guy's only been eating mushrooms. So that ant comes out, it's like,
I'm going back
out of here.
My dude was ripping. Holy moly.
There's your lore.
But no, it was one of the funniest things where any percent runners were like, how do the low-level people get to skip this encounter and we don't? And literally, you just got to talk to Mushroom Boy. So I'm pretty sure... Do they do it in any percent now? Do they just...
Yeah, they do it in 8%. That skips a whole fight. Yep.
Yeah, they walk into that room, talk to him, and leave. And it is so funny.
Yeah. Faster than a fight.
It is. Believe it or not, like, as crazy as it sounds, the fights in this game are kind of slow. So being able to skip as many fights as you can in a speedrun in an RPG is pretty important. Again, we're using these Yoshi cookies to get rid of them. Again, these are encounters that we have to get through. We can't, like, skip these. So the other alternative is we'd either have to, like, defeat these enemies normally and play the minigame, or you could just use Yoshi cookies. Again, one of the systems in this game that just works flawlessly with low level for our purposes of speedrun. We're trying to fight as few enemies. Just incredible how it works. Here, ooh, why did you get to go? That makes me angry. Oh, that's why you got to, because you're special. Oh, we actually did not explain that. That's a new mechanic. Spike, do you want to explain special enemy?
Yeah, special enemies are just, it's another, like, kind of different little mechanic they threw into the remake. Where if an enemy is special, they have way more. They have like triple the HP, unironically. And you can't eat them with Yoshi cookies. So obviously, like, this plan gets completely dunked on. But if you defeat them, you get a guaranteed frog coin. So frog coins are a little more rare in this game, so that's kind of cool. But nice block. I've like never seen that attack before.
I've seen every attack in the game, Spike.
At this point, well, it's just like some of these fights we don't do. I guess you do this fight, yeah.
Yeah, because then I want that guy to fall here. We're gonna.
Yeah. And you see, like, the benefit of Sia. Sia is a 100% guaranteed runaway. It is technically slightly slower to use it over getting lucky and getting a first or maybe even second try runaway, just natural runaway. But, yeah, giving you that guaranteed is really, really nice.
For the purposes of what we're doing, if I run... if I was doing a run, normally I would have skipped Sia. There's really no reason for us to buy it. We don't want to be getting into encounters anyway, so if I'm getting into it, we're already, like, kind of just being slow. It was actually Spike's suggestion. Spike was the one that was like, we should skip this, it's slow, and I was like...
I was screaming about it. I was an old man yelling at the clouds.
Spike was like, I won't be your friend anymore if we don't skip this. And I was like, okay, fine. So now we skip it. But for the purposes of what we're doing here, we're going for some more safety strats.
Yeah.
And speaking of RNG, here is one of the silliest, stupidest ways that you can lose time in this speed. I am about to hit a Belome switch to spawn a scroll. The scroll can only spawn one of two things. It can either spawn a, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry, or hey, I'm sleepy, I don't want any visitors right now. I want both options, but I want them at separate times. I want to fight Belome first, so I want him to be awake. And then later on, I don't want to... Sorry, I'm asleep. It's a 50-50 chance to get either option on any given pull. So, realistically, you could sit here forever. Like that. I don't want that.
So, fun fact, this is according to the 80% runners, technically every attempt, it gets better in your odds. So if you ever have one of these where you get like 13 in a row, like some runners have had, it's worse than failing 13 50-50s in a row.
It's happening. Okay, we got it on the 5th freaking try. Okay.
Yeah. So that's minimum like 1 in 32 odds, what Kuiper just had.
That was really bad. We're going to do one of those so we can heal. I'm actually going to fix our party. I have no idea why this was out of order. I don't know what the heck I was doing on this.
Yeah, and as we're coming into the below me, the Bellum, as I will call him. Choose your favorite pronunciation. Yeah, Belome. We have about 30 minutes left here. Thanks everybody for being patient through the tech issues today. We really appreciate it. And while we're doing the subs and bits for Team Left or Team Right, I do want to remind everybody that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support Games Done Quick Hotfix and keep shows like this running. So if you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with other subscribers during our replays that we do every night. And we'll be carrying the Team Left, Team Right forward to the next episode in 2 weeks, which is going to be great. But yeah, and also today's the last day where if you cheer, I think it's over 300 bits, Twitch matches bits, or gives you a portion of that back. So that'd be awesome.
Also, just a casual 306 damage I'm doing.
It's so fun to watch his jump hit so hard.
Yeah.
And again, it's only jump. Super jump, ultra jump, even those don't do it.
Nope, it is just jump. One of those very silly gimmicks in this run. I'm just gonna save the rock candy.
Yep.
Alright. Belome 2 is a very, very fast fight. It's one of the fastest fights in the run. Because I don't have the most optimal autosave location, but we will get it here in a second. Because I got coins, so we're gonna be loading into the actual area where you just drop down right before you fight him. But yeah, ideally, we're gonna be going for another 26 minutes. Ideally, I want to get through this fight and like 2 more. On this episode, I would love to get through the Birdo fight, because Birdo, everyone has their like random like 1 in 4 boss that isn't supposed to be challenging, that for whatever reason is just always rude to them, and for some reason Birdo just doesn't like me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I did to Birdo. So,
yeah, you everyone that likes it. It's a 1 in 4, and it always takes you like 12 plus.
Yep. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, ideally this below me fight is only 2 rounds, which it's going to be here.
It's about to be, yeah.
Yeah, because now you can just go double rock candy into a jump.
It's also worth
a little bit of a point of contention. I brought up sometimes, like maybe you like sometimes try to save a rock candy, sandbag a turn. I think in this situation, I would definitely just double rock candy like you're doing.
Yeah.
Mario's jump is slightly outpowering it.
Good. Yeah, I know. It is worth mentioning, one of the reasons why we're dealing so much damage is because we're fearing Balome. So Balome is one of the bosses. Ooh, are we still team left?
Still team
We're
left.
still team left.
Ooh, baby.
First try, Balome.
Second try. Nope. Oh my goodness.
We're going back.
Right, we'll get first try on the next attempt.
You can see why, like, this run, it's like, I don't want to say it's like addicting. It's just like that type of like, oh man, are we gonna get out right now? No, shoot, you know, we got to do it again. It's one of those like, oh, dude, please, like, you just, when I got the non-turbo world record, which I only got by like less than 5 minutes. It was a very, very bad run that I lost a lot of time, and somehow still got it. When I tell you guys, like, every single, when you're on a really good run, every single fight is this, like, oh, please just let this, like, be the one. Let this be the one. Let me out on this, you know? I mistimed that. That was bad. I was too busy emoting. Sorry, he'll still die. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's something addicting about it. There's something charming about it. I don't really know. It's just... I like it. Also, but again, what I was getting to was like one of the reasons why we're dealing this much damage to Balome is because we're fearing him. He's one of the bosses that is weak to fear, basically meaning like we can fear him. A lot of the other bosses that we'll find later in the run can't be feared, and we sort of lose the utility of. I have not to fear basically yet, have I? Can fear. I don't think
you did. You lucky.
A lot of the other bosses that I did. Okay. Later, did I?
You did.
If I'm wrong, you laugh me up.
I remember seeing the little red thing pop up.
I don't think I did. I did. Okay, thank God. All right.
We got thank God, so I can fail that.
Oh, thank God.
All right, what attempt are we on?
That was
this
3.
is attempt 4.
So this is
all right. We can pay it our first time with the non-believers. Win the predictions.
Ooh,
now 4 or more. Yeah.
This has been a relatively lucky, gimmicky part. No first tries, but like a bunch of second tries. You'd take that any day of the week.
Saving up for first try Boomer XOR in episode 2.
Right. I have to tell this story because it just symbolizes how I have such a love-hate relationship with this run. And this run has a love-hate, but way more hate.
Yeah, but you love the hate.
Oh, I do. Back when I was getting these save states set up, back in like February before SGDQ, when I knew I was going to submit it, I was getting all of these saves together, and obviously like each of these profiles only goes up to a point in the game, right? When I got to the save and the profile, where I had to get past Boomer XOR, which is, of course, we talked about it earlier. Boomer XOR is a 1 in 8, okay? Not a 1 in 4, not a 1 in 2, it's a 1 in 8. I was just sitting here, going through, making save states. No one was watching. No one was... I wasn't streaming. It was just a random run. We going team left still?
We are team left.
Still left.
Okay. Still going team left.
All right, chat, you're going to need to change it up on us, because it's totally going to be wrong. We need you.
It was still a tie!
Chat, we need team right. The only way we get out of this before the 3-hour mark, we need team right.
No, if you change it, it's gonna go back to left. We just gotta wait.
No. Like the trend of the night has been change it, and it works.
Well, maybe. But yeah, basically the end of it was the only first try I've ever gotten on Boomer XOR was on a run that wasn't a run, that didn't matter, and I was just setting up save states, and it was just me by myself, and I got a first try Boomer X, and all I did, I just laughed. I was just sitting here playing the game, and I just laughed. I couldn't help but laugh at the game. It was the funniest thing that this run has ever thrown at me. Like, you want to first try Boomer Store? All right, cool. Here, we'll give you one.
Sure.
We'll give you one when it doesn't matter. Yeah, so you saw me pick the right egg, but the reason I picked the right egg is it's not where the eggs end up. It is before they shuffle, whichever, like the one on the left and the right. So before the egg shuffle, I'm choosing the left egg, I'm following it, and then I'm picking it ultimately where. And we have to do it that way because if you just like weren't looking at the screen, then you might accidentally pick Yoshi. You don't want that. All right, Malome. Okay, Malome, you're gonna let me out. Malome, you're gonna let me out. You're gonna let me out. You're gonna let me out. It's the crappy pattern. Oh, it's the crappy pattern.
Go center. If it's crappy, always pick center.
Oh! See, I told you we need Team Right to get us out of here. That's the only way.
That's why I don't do that. To be fair, I thought again, that pattern that you saw the eggs do, okay? It looked kind of trivial what the eggs did, but I can't express enough how weird that pattern is. So what happened there was one of the eggs landed on the left, but there was still one egg that was spinning. So the second egg that was still moving, like, pushed the first egg out of the way, but sometimes that's not what happens. What's actually happening is it's phasing through the egg, and it's a terrible pattern. It doesn't make any visual sense what is actually happening. Every time I see it, I get sad. Every time Spike sees it, he just picks mid and gets out somehow, and it makes me angry.
I realized what happens, because you follow the left or the right egg. I always follow center to make sure I can eliminate it. So when I see it do the screwy pattern with the center egg, then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I know Yoshi's not in the middle. So it gives me the same 50-50. You're following the left or the right. Okay.
Yep.
Now that makes sense to me.
Gamers, this is what we like to call... This is usually what happens. Normally...
It's impossible to get through without at least a couple of these.
Yep, you reach a certain point in the run, and one of the fights just doesn't want to cooperate. You've always followed Yoshi with my finger since I was a kid. Dr. Ram, so if you're talking about the original game, the SNES version, that does not work.
Unless you were a child in October of 23.
Yeah,
Which you better not be on Twitch.
Which then we have a problem.
Yeah, man. But yeah, if you tried to follow it as a kid when you were little, foolish, because that doesn't work that way. You cannot follow it.
Yeah, it gives the exact same visual every single time in the original. Because that was a pretty common question we got, funny enough, in OG low-level runs. Which is like, oh, well, why aren't you just following the eggs?
I got that question mostly as a meme. But I got that question at least, like, once a run, and I was like, do I need to, like, put something on screen that, like, you can't follow the egg?
You cannot follow the egg.
You cannot
but
follow
then Remake comes out.
Of course,
and says,
right? And
oh,
then,
you actually... And we had to explain to people, like, the first day of runs, like, no, it's not a meme.
Oh,
this
baby.
Is a meme, though.
Balome is being a real jerk.
Yeah, we would have been out like hours ago if we picked Team Right.
We would have.
I know we've only been on this for like 20 minutes.
Or
but...
we just picked Team Left with the screwy pattern or something. I don't know.
No, so I was, to my eye, when the screwy pattern showed up, I was like, I think it's going to be right. But that would have been the tie. So, honestly, what I should do, and this is just like for my own sanity, I should just pick whatever, like if I get the screwy pattern, I should just like forget following it and just pick the egg that, you know, I was like left or right.
Yeah.
That's what I should do.
Yeah, you should pick the far left or the far right. See, now that you pick the middle one,
yeah,
you just curse the entire run.
I might have, actually. You might be here for the next 15 minutes.
So everybody should know this run is the perfect exhibit of the gambler's fallacy. Right front and center here.
Oh.
Totally, we're due. Oh, we saw 3 of them before on left, so now it's gotta be right. That's true. It is Team Right, and we can't get through this until we're on Team Right, so. We may end the stream here on Below Me Too.
We might. We got about 14 minutes left.
14 minutes. All right, here we go. Want to double your coin?
I
lost count how many attempts.
We had honestly gotten pretty lucky up to here that we've seen mostly EXP. Like, you get to the point where you're like, okay, when you fail the egg minigame enough times, it's fine. When you just don't even get to play the egg minigame, you get like 5 or 6 coins in a row. That feels awful.
That's normally what Spike's Knife Guy Great Guys are like.
Oh yeah, I just don't even play the minigame. I failed the initial coin flip.
I've been talking about all of the things that this run, obviously, it has a mind of its own. Another thing that really happens a lot, specifically to me, and obviously, you know, my viewers are here and they can vouch for me with this, is when I'm on a good run, and this, obviously, we're not doing an actual run, but for the most part, like, I feel like this one would be solid if I was just getting a bunch of, like, second, third tries. I'd be continuing this run. When this starts to happen, and I start to hemorrhage time, normally what I do is I will out loud say the words, okay, if I dip below this amount of time, I'm gonna kill the run, right? If I dip below like a certain threshold, when I dip beneath, like, okay, I entered this fight 20 minutes ahead. If I see 5 minutes ahead, so I've lost 15 minutes on this split, I'm gonna kill the run. Without a doubt, the run will just wait. The game will just wait until I'm at like 5:13, right? Like right before where my threshold is gonna be, and then it will go, now you can go out. Now you're good. Now you're free. Happens all the time.
Your world record you just set in non-turbo, I think you said that like 5 times. The run just kept barely... I know, I was in the call with you the whole time.
It just likes to... What's that thing? It like bargains with you. It's almost kind of like a... Not bargains. It's just like a... It's like a mind game that you're playing. Right? This is a speed run that it's like psychologically, right? It's like you versus the game, right? Like how long can the game just hold you in one spot until you break, right? Until you're like, no, I will see it through, you know?
All right, here we go. I'm still on Team Right, but yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, XP, all right. Would chat have bailed us out? We're still on Team Left here, but would chat have bailed us out?
It's all right, because this is the one shot.
It ended right here.
Hey.
Oh.
We're out. How many attempts was that? Were you keeping track?
God, no. I think it was like 8.
That was 8 or 9.
8 or 9. That was a lot of coins. But again, at least there was the benefit of you would take an 8th or 9th try below me too, or over an 8th or 9th try like Dodo Valentina or something, right? Every day.
Oh.
Because that's ideally that's a 2-round fight that Kuiper just finished up. That you jump right back into.
Yeah, that's a very quick fight compared to like some of the other ones we're about to do. Mega Smilax, which is the next fight we're doing, is only a 1 in 2, but it's kind of a longer fight because there's these like animations that have to play between each phase where like this little Shy Guy is gonna come over and water the plant. It's gonna grow more heads, and it's kind of a slow fight. So I would much rather get stuck on a fight, like what Spike said, one that's really quick, rather than one that takes forever. And not to mention that Mega Smilax is just a 1 in 2, similar to it was, because there's no coins. So getting stuck on Mega Smilax just feels extra awful. Because you're like, dude, it's a coin flip, dude. I just need 1 coin flip.
I've never gotten unlucky on Mega Smilax. I can't imagine what like a 6th try Mega Smilax would feel like.
I think DJ Carmichael. So DJ Carmichael and I were the 2 people that were really, really competing for like fat times in this run back in like the early part of the year. I want to say one of the runs that DJ had, I think he got like a 7th try Mega Smilax.
Oh.
And he finished the run. I was like, dude, I would have quit after like the 3rd one. he was like, nah, man, I gotta the late game. I'm like, dude, it's low level. You don't have to practice. It was
that's just you want to see the late game.
Yeah, you just want to see it. Yeah, you don't want to actually practice. We're buying a
spike jump.
Yeah, we're buying a spike chomp here. You will see that weapon get used like 2 weeks from now. Unironically, you are not going to see that weapon used at all tonight. You'll see it used a couple times.
I was like, do we actually use it? I was using it on like Valentina when I was messing around with the fight.
Depending upon damage rolls, you should use it technically optimally on Magikarp.
Oh, okay.
And you could also use it if you want to like supplement a little. On like the dragon, but it's not really worth it. You could just kind of like, you know, really like tickle him a little bit with some more too. I usually don't do that, but you know, you could if you wanted to. So we're grabbing all of these frog coins. We're gonna end up buying a whole bunch of stuff here in, if I can get the right, we're gonna use all those frog coins we just got to buy a bunch of stuff at Tadpole Pond. We also, normally, you would farm... Oh, wow, we had an extra... normally here, you would also farm more frog coins. There is another mini game that we have access to here. The... What are they called in this game? The... They called
Sky Troopers.
Sky Troopers. I don't... They're called a different thing in the SNES game rather than this one. But this is like an infinitely... sort of like an infinite game you can play to get as many frog coins as you want. The only objective you have to do here is you have to climb this little like cliff minigame in less than 10 seconds. We have to climb it once under 11 seconds to get an equip item known as the Troopa Pin, or the Troopa Medal in this game. And then normally here I would climb this anywhere between like 2 to 5 times. Any luck was like. I'll try to do it like 1 tonight. We don't need to be doing this, but again, you want to jump across as fast as you can. Get a sub 11 time. All right, we just barely got it, so we're going to be getting the Troopa Medal. Now we need to do that faster. And looking at Mario Shadow, jump. And that should be more than enough to get us under 10 seconds. And we'll get 5 frog coins for that, so 9.7. And yeah, so you could technically do this a couple times. Normally I do it again 2 to 5 times, depending upon what the freebies are, but we're not going to be worrying about that today. Just going to go ahead and move on to the next fight. Into the next area, I should say, which is Bean Valley. And I got to say, I've been playing a lot of a game called, I really can't say the name of the game, because it's got a wild... bee people. I can't say it bad word. But anyway, that game has beans in it, and the use of the beans in that game are like your party members get like mad at each other, and the way to like break the tension between your party members, they share beans amongst themselves. You like make them eat beans together, and it's like, oh cool, they're friends now. So now I have this like alternative reason to just like love this area. It's just called Bean Valley. Other than like Donkey Kong 64. We don't need to get down the rabbit hole. The bean in Donkey Kong 64. What am I doing here? I'm waiting for this Shy Guy to go over this pipe so that I can get a red essence out of it. But if he doesn't,
dude, it's cursed. He never wants to go over there.
He never wants to go. If he doesn't,
I just started skipping this thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skip it. We do not need it. It'll be fine. The only thing we're gonna equip here is super metal. Normally, what I want there is he will kind of what he's doing right there. He'll like water this little plant, and then I can go down there. There's an invisible chest you can grab in essence. Normally, I would wait there until he did that, but we don't do that this time. And yeah, let's get into Mega Smilax. So here's the actual first usage you've seen of the Lucky Hammer. So that is just an infinite way for us to generate the Lucky Minigame. You no longer have to rely on the juice. There'll be a couple spots, but not till much later. Oh, I used that on the wrong person. That'll be okay. We'll figure it out. Let's just block that casually. We should be fine. Mega Smilax might get like one attack. Did I freebie the end? I might have.
Could check. Do you have 3? Yeah, you did not.
I did not. We'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? I mean, they might live. That would be. We'll see what happens. If they live, then we'll have to. I might just throw an extra ice bomb. Let's see if these guys live. They might live. So another thing that we've been doing in a lot of these, maybe you noticed. Like, wait a minute. King Calamari never got to attack you. And the answer is, you're right. Ending these fights, because we're manipulating our speed stat, right? With, like, our equips and things like that, and all these bosses have very unique speed stats. This guy is, ideally, never going to get to attack. He comes in really slow. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, we're dealing a ton of damage with these ice bombs. Again, I might just have to... Is he gonna die? Ooh, he's not gonna die.
Ooh, not quite. Oh, the
blast.
shroom beam. Let's go.
He's gonna Petal Blast beam. Oh, he missed. What a loser! What an absolute loser! He got the double miss on Petal Blast. All right, are we team left?
We are team left.
Team left in.
No, I'm going left. I'm going left. It was the crappy pattern again.
Yeah. Let's go! Give me that
try! Let's go!
It worked.
Oh my god.
That's our first try of the night.
Let's go,
Hyper, how do you feel in this amazing moment at 2 a.m.?
I want to go to bed. Holy moly.
I want to go to bed.
I'll tell you
Good
what.
answer.
We're nearing the 3-hour cutoff point. I'll tell you what. I think it is a perfect time. Let's get into Nimbus Land, which is where the next 4 bosses. 2 of them are not bosses, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Next
4 mini games. Yeah.
And yeah, we could pick this up in Nimbus Land when we come back for episode 2. As I'm climbing up into Nimbus Land again, I know we had a lot of technical difficulties. Can we please get some support in the chat, some love for the wonderful tech people who have had a heck of a day today trying to fight the tech issues, the tech demons, as you. All 3 of us are streamers here. We all know that sometimes, sometimes computers just don't want a computer.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a meme on my stream how bad I am with computers. So
yeah,
I'm surprised people didn't blame me more for this.
Yeah, please give a massive love and people that we have. that were working really, really hard.
Yeah, big shouts to Railkin. And, you know, also, as we near the end of our show tonight, thank you all for being so patient. You know, obviously, we're going a little bit later tonight as a result of the technical difficulties than we usually do. So thank you so much, all of you still hanging out here for this awesome run. This is part 1 of part 2. So in 2 weeks, at the premiere of Season 3 of Hotfix, Kuiper is going to be back. And we are going to conclude this run all the way to Smithy. You will see it start to finish, well, over 2 episodes. So if you like this, if you like more of this, we're going to carry on the team left, team right scores through that entire episode as well. So, you know, save up if you're interested in influencing these choices. It's surprisingly riveting, isn't it, Chad? But also, make sure you go follow Kuiper Don't Care if we can get a shout out in Twitch chat there for him. He's great. He's loud. I hate his guts, but my God, he can run some Super Mario RPG low level. And you know, as a host of the show, I need to throw my personal biases aside and let the content shine. And that's why I'm nothing but a professional. So Kuiper, thanks for coming on.
Of course. I was to tell you guys how excited I was to do this run on the GDQ show. I can't even begin to express. I was super excited. Thank you again. I know we talked about it. Thank you guys so much for staying patient with us for the technical difficulties we were having. When we come back in 2 weeks for episode 2, the 2 toughest bosses to get through in the entire run, one of them just from an odds standpoint, and the other one from a difficulty standpoint, they are coming up very, very shortly. In about 3 or 4 boss fights, we're going to have Dodo Valentina, which is the hardest fight in the entire game for us to get through to survive. And then, of course, we have the big one, the 1 in 8, Boomer Exor. Will we get through it? Will we have to make a save state and push through it? How am I going to beat Smithy? Maybe some of you are wondering, in the world is this dude going to beat Smithy at level 3? You will see the strats are crazy. What we're going to be doing, do not miss it in 2 weeks. Thank you again, Kiara, for bringing me on. Thank you, Spike, for being here. It is way past Spike and I's bedtimes. We need to get up.
It's past my bedtime as well now, so I know it's bad for you too.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Thank you again, guys. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll see you in episode 2. 2 weeks.
Yeah, see y'all in episode 2. And again, also shouts to Spike for the lovely commentary. I have been your host, Kiara_TV. Game Masters will return in 2 weeks with a new time on Tuesday. So we're moving over to the Tuesday slot. So if you don't see me on Monday, that is why. But stay tuned for all that schedule stuff. And don't forget TwitchCon coming up this weekend. It's going to be a blast. But I hope you all sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching Low Level. This is a category I really enjoy lurking in. It's oddly thrilling, honestly, every single time that minigame comes up. That is all we have for tonight. And thank you all. GDQ, you're great. We'll see y'all.